Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. We are very, very excited to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Another week. We couldn't be more excited, as a matter of fact. We have exciting announcements. We have a crazy episode.
Great.
It's all here for the taking. We're going to have a good time here. First of all, a little bit of house cleaning off the top. Definitely thank you for everything you've done always, and this week especially. Your reviews, they help a lot. That purple icon, Apple Podcasts. So give us 5 stars if you haven't done that yet. Definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com right now for all of your crime and sports merchandise and everything like that. And it's all there. Everything Small Town Murder as well. And good, if you have not listened to Small Town Murder,
Yeah.
Can we implore you, please go the last couple weeks, just listen to their, you can't get any crazier.
No.
The last episode, I don't even know, the form of murder was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Get there. Yeah. Doesn't make sense to me.
Check it out. We're telling you, everybody, check it out. Do that. Check out Small Town Murder. Then you can get tickets to live shows all throughout 2022 and the end of 2021, too. I think there's a few on there. So check all those out and get your tickets and do everything like that. Also, Patreon. My goodness, is Patreon good. Yeah. And this week we just have some fun stuff. We got a lot of like cult stuff and dark stuff with the Small Town Murder bonuses. We're going to go light with everything and make it's just some crazy stuff. First of all, for Crime and Sports, in honor of Father's Day, of course, in honor of Father's Day, we are going to do the all paternity team. This will be the Crime and Sports athletes with the most kids and who are the least responsible for them. So there's a lot of guys, they don't get arrested for a lot of stuff, but they have like 14 kids by 11 women, and they pay for like 2 of them, and they're in court a lot for that. And, it's the whole episode would be boring with that, but just some funny stuff with some people where you're going, what the hell? What are you thinking, really, when you're doing this?
Why are you doing that?
So we'll have a good time with that. And they're all throughout history, too. There's guys from the 50s that had 15 kids that you would never have known about. So it's pretty crazy stuff. And then for the Small Town Murder one, which you'll have access to because you have access to everything if you're a patron at patreon.com/crimeandsports, we're going to just have some fun here and we had a lot of fun with the jail reviews. Yeah. So some of these small towns, a lot of times when I can't find reviews, there's always reviews of the one motel in the town. Yeah. So we are going to do 1-star or bad reviews from small town motels.
Oh,
okay?
Great.
Because we've had some of the most fun ever with reviews of small town motels. I know that sounds weird, but just trust us. It's a really, really funny thing. And then we're going to get the week after that. It's going to be Hillside Stranglers. So we're back into gore. So let's get on with that. Patreon.com/crimeandsports. Sign up right now and you'll get a shout out because then you're a producer. Jimmie will mispronounce your name at the end of the show, and that'll be a lot of fun as well. If you just want to donate, have a good time, and be a producer and have great karma and our undying affection, you can do that over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And Jimmie will still mispronounce your name. And also, we want to announce, because we did it on Small Town Murder last week, not on Crime and Sports, we have a network now.
Formed some shit.
We formed some shit. That's what we've been working on. People are like, where's Vile Human Beings? What are you doing with this? And we're like, we have something on the stove right now. We have like 4 pots boiling and we can't, there's no room. There's no more burners.
Don't take the lid off of that. God damn it.
No. So we have, it's called the Upside Down Network. And we have a couple of shows right away. First show that's coming out, you're going to love it. It's called Game of Crimes.
Right.
It's amazing. The trailer for the show is now currently up. You can check it out. Game of Crimes with Morgan Wright and
Steve.
Oh my God, Steve. Jesus Christ. I was like, Murph, Murph. Steve Murphy.
Yeah,
Good God.
yeah.
What's wrong with me? Murph, and he's the guy who they base the blonde guy in Narcos on. So
Yeah.
the stories these guys have are unbelievable. The guests they're going to have on are incredible.
Yeah.
And it's, you'll hear from Colombian hitmen that they arrested and things like that from jail, and they'll talk to them. And it's all very like, camaraderie. It's like the Coyote and the Roadrunner at the end when they're punching out, at the end of the day, and they're like, oh, well, see you tomorrow. It's pretty funny. And all sorts of stuff, cases that you've heard about, Green River Killer, things like that you've heard about, but from people you've never heard it from. And it's the inside stuff they have is amazing. It's going to be wild. Game of Crimes
unique
is our first one.
perspective is what we were shooting for, and it's fantastic. Yep. It's different stories from different guys, some of the same stories from different views, and it's fantastic.
It's wild. You're going to hear, and then a couple weeks later, we have another amazing show coming out that we'll tell you all about at that point. So good stuff there at the Upside Down Network. That said, let's get it on here, though.
Let's do it.
What we have here for Crime and Sports. An interesting one here today, Jimmy. First of all, the guy's name, you just want to punch him right in the fucking mouth. I don't know what it is about it. His name is Cody Ledbetter.
Oh.
Which would...
yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, which would definitely... what would he'd be called? Bedwetter. He'd be called. I'm trying to think of what are the nicknames that people are going to give him.
Bedwetter's number one.
That's going to be number one.
Forever.
It's easier to say than Ledbetter is the problem.
It is.
That's why. It's Bedwetter. It flows better than Ledbetter. So
Ledbetter's harder to say than red leather, yellow leather.
Ledbetter's like what an actor would say to warm up backstage, like
tips of the tongue.
Ledbetter, fucking doing scales and shit. His name is Cody Wayne Ledbetter.
Oh boy,
Cody. And I understand if your name's Cody, you can't help it or whatever, but Cody is maybe the most punchable name in the American lexicon. If you say, hi, I'm Cody, you have to dig out of a hole right away. It's like, oh, I just want to punch you. I don't even know why. You could be the greatest guy in the world.
Cody was the 80s Aiden.
Yeah, it really is. That's a good way to put it. It's the 80s Aiden. And Cody is it's just too... I don't know, what if someone says, hi, I'm Cody? You clench your fist. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I know a lot of you, Cody. You're all dicks.
You son of a bitch. And he's like a blonde guy too. Yeah. He's a blonde Cody. Like you can't make this up. So
Cody and Devin hung out all the time.
yeah. Not Devin with an O. Devin with an I.
Yeah.
Devin with an O doesn't want to hang out with Cody.
Shit, no. And black guys named Devon hate them so much.
Yeah. What's up, Cody? Clenched
Devin,
fists.
it is Devon. Say Devin again. I swear to Christ.
Yo, Cody, it's Devon, motherfucker. You're an asshole. So that's what we got going on. They're one of the most punchable names ever. So you would have to, overcome this in some way, shape, or form. So he becomes a very good athlete. That's how I guess he overcomes being called Bedwetter. And I assume at that point, only the guys on your team are going to call you Bedwetter then. So...
And his mother had no idea how much of a douche she was giving birth to by naming him like that. He could have been the greatest kid on earth, and with that name, he's fucked from jump. That's no good.
Yeah, you just, right away you're like, oh, what did he do? When we announced Cody Ledbetter, no one knows who the fuck this guy is unless you're from Texas or small parts of Canada. You have or New Mexico. You have no idea who this guy is. He's only known in 3 places. And you'd hear the name Cody Ledbetter, and you just go, I bet he did something that makes me want to punch him. You just know it. And he did, too. That's the other thing. You'll want to punch him. Because lately we've been doing a lot of stories where I kind of feel bad for the guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, David Thompson, I feel, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, that guy should have been...
With idiot and asshole, it's just been a bunch of idiots that are just detrimental to themselves. There's very little victims in it.
They're not hurting other people for the most part, besides some small incidents. But the guy like David Thompson, you just go, Jesus Christ, the luck on a guy. I mean, but it's one of those things where it could happen to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Think about that Studio 54 thing. how many fucking players of all sports go to clubs after the games and shit like that? How easily could that happen to literally anybody?
In terms of business establishments, those are the places that you expect that shit to happen.
Yeah, at 4:15 in the morning, especially.
Right. And if your health if your career depends on you being healthy in terms of muscles and bones and all, why would you even take the fucking chance? I can't imagine.
I don't know what it is, especially when you can afford to go other places and party. You can afford a nice hotel suite.
To have it in your own house.
Yeah, you can rent an Airbnb and fuck that up if you want.
Absolutely.
A nice one. Who cares? Yeah. The point is, don't go out to a club. But, I mean, anybody could have had something where, and I honestly believe David Thompson and the bouncers, or David Thompson and the other players, when they said, he was there for 1 second and then this bouncer just came up behind him and jacked him. Yeah. I believed that because the girl he was talking to was the bouncer's girlfriend. So I think he's a big shot. He's a professional basketball player. He's tall. He's handsome. He's confident. He's walking up to her and the bouncer didn't like it and he came up and jacked him. And I think that could literally happen to fucking anybody.
Absolutely.
And could injure them and ruin destroy their career. Obviously, he had destroyed it with drugs too.
Yeah, but he was well on his way. But that could happen to a UPS driver.
That's what I mean. It could happen to anybody. Yeah. So that made me feel bad for him. Like all the drugs and all that, if he cleaned himself up, I'm like, okay, maybe he can make a comeback because his skills are still amazing. And then you look at that and you go, oh, he didn't even get the chance because some fucking jackass, bouncer threw him down a flight of steps and destroyed his knee. So this is a guy you don't feel bad for at all. So this is fun. We can just hate a guy for 2 hours.
The other point is you feel bad for him because it's not necessarily just his own problems and his own doing, but it's a man who has an ego that is terrified that somebody can, quote unquote, steal his girl.
Yeah, there's that too.
Why don't you trust her to say no, bro?
Yeah, I think maybe she was being receptive or whatever. I mean, he's a charming guy too. Everybody said it. He was a charming fucking guy. He came up. He was probably friendly and, nice smile and all that shit. And she was probably just receptive. And also, she worked there. So what's she supposed to do? Kick him in the balls? I mean, maybe she was doing her job and being friendly. She was the coat check person. So,
And biggest contract in NBA history at that point. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So I don't know, man. I just look at it that way. Whereas this guy, he can go fuck himself. So let's see where Cody is here.
All right.
He's born July 9th, 1973. So he's not that old, not that young. He's just kind of a middle guy. We've been dealing with a lot of older stories lately, too. This one's kind of more current, as we'll find out.
Okay.
Now, he grows up in Stephenville, Texas.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in Texas, if you're not an American, because we do have a large part of our audience that's not from the States, and for you, I don't know if you know this or not, but sports, and especially football in Texas, is otherworldly popular.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't explain the level. You know how much you like to eat food or breathe air?
Yeah.
Things like that, you know what I mean? That's how they feel about high school football. And I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And you can't say it's not true because there's 15,000 seat stadiums for high school football.
Which is nuts.
That's nuts. That's not all the fucking family and friends there. No. That's people who have nothing to do with any of these kids are going there to watch children play football, which is a strange phenomenon. I don't know. I mean, it's in the culture, so it's one of those things where it's just, I don't know, people, it folds over generation to generation. They just do it, but it's just a strange thing to do, to look at from the outside. I don't know, Australian listeners, do you just go and observe people's kids play sports that you don't have any affiliation with?
On Friday, a specific day of the week that everybody has collectively in your community announced as the day that you're going to go watch the high school footy team. Are you going to go do that?
It's wild. Is that a thing that happens there? I don't know if it. Maybe it is. I don't know. Now, on the other hand, too, Texas does have amazing football talent. So, I mean, a lot of times these high schools actually are playing, watchable games because it's a lot of great talent there. But at the same time, there's better talent on Saturdays and Sundays that you can watch. It's just strange. It's just strange, especially when it's hot out. We're going to go sit in the heat and watch football.
A lot of that great talent that you're watching on Saturday and Sunday started because they were encouraged so hard to give Dad something to be proud of on Friday night.
Yeah, that's the other thing there. Your name can be Cody Ledbetter, and you can still be a god if you're good at sports there. Yeah. So they don't care. They don't give a shit. Yeah. So he grows up in Stephenville. And I don't know a whole lot about this guy's childhood. I assume he, played sports and ran around in the dirt, and I don't know what the fuck he did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I picture him like growing up like a Von Erich. That's for some reason. I don't know why.
Anytime I think of childhoods he's in rural Texas too. Yes, is that where is that?
Stephenville. Yeah, I don't know where the hell Stephenville is.
It's out there. I'm sure.
Oh, it's by. I think it's maybe not, because he ends up later on. He lives in El Paso, so maybe it's down in that quadrant.
That's the only city near there. I mean, unless you're talking about Lubbock or Amarillo, a bit north of there, but there is nothing around El Paso, man. It is
it's
bleak.
desert. It's desert. It's desert and Mexico. That's all that's there. It's not a whole lot other than that. So he ends up, by the time he's a junior, he's the starting quarterback for the Stephenville Yellow Jackets.
Hell yeah!
So there we go. He'll also do good things with track and shit like that. We'll talk about too. So I found a couple of articles in the newspaper from his junior and senior year in high school here. Mm-hmm. And one of them is apparently he's playing both ways, as a lot of. If you're a dominant high school football player, they'll put you in
both sides of the ball. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're a defensive lineman, you're a fullback, and then you're going to be the place kicker also if you can do that. Like, they don't give a shit. You're playing at every down if they can get you to. So they were talking about what a great game at quarterback that he had, and then he also intercepted a pass and ran it back for a touchdown as well.
Can you imagine? The insult.
He's just doing wonderful. Cody doing that to you?
Yeah. I mean, the guy just threw 3 touchdowns, Cody. And then he just came in on defense and picked off the best person we have to throw the ball, and he ripped that and ran that back.
Yeah, and if he didn't run it back, he'd have stayed on the field and then threw it in. So either way, we're fucked. This kid sucks. So that was the Yellow Jackets holding off the Buckaroos 26-19.
Yikes.
Good for him. So I found some shit from his senior year, and there's a big game against Burke Burnett, apparently. It's a huge deal. Burke Burnett is 10-3, and Stephenville is 12-1.
Okay.
It's December of his senior year, and they're really talking about it here. The Stephenville offense averaging 36 points a game at this point in time. Yeah, it's scored 40 consecutive times once it reaches the 20-yard line of the opponent. So 20 consecutive red zone scores.
20 or 40?
40 consecutive red zone scores, which is silly. That doesn't happen in the NFL.
No.
Or anywhere else on earth, really. That's just
Tom Brady doesn't do that.
Fuck no. There's a fumble here and there.
Yeah.
It's a 7-week span. So for 7 weeks, every time they hit the 20, they're scoring something.
That's incredible.
A field goal. Yeah. Ledbetter has completed in this whole time here 109 of 209 passes for 2,272 yards and 23 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions.
Wow.
So a bunch of incompletions, but you can't also put that on a high school quarterback because he's also throwing to children, so you have to think about that. He's throwing to a sophomore who might not be the greatest wide receiver in the world. Not like he's got Julio Jones on the outside and he's just throwing it up for him. It's kind of
doesn't have Randy Moss over the middle. It's just
he really doesn't. It's I don't know who the
it's a kid named Randy Treadway who also has a paper route.
Well, he's got Jason Poston who's got 53 receptions and 1,198 yards, so not bad. Ledbetter's been targeting him. Also, Cody, what's the difference? Cody, same thing. Cody also ran for another 563 yards.
Holy shit.
Cody's a very mobile quarterback. That's the other thing. He's a very mobile guy. Later on, he'll say he doesn't like to be in the pocket, not a pocket passer. This guy likes to freestyle a bit, get on the outside.
That's great because the NFL was chomping at the bit for guys like him at this time.
Well, no, they are now. At the time, it was, he's a pocket passer. Nobody wanted a guy who didn't stay in the pocket back then.
No?
That was, no, in the 90s.
Scrambling quarterbacks were great.
Nobody wanted them. Who the hell wanted them now?
I don't know.
The only guy who was like a starter
the Falcons
was Randall
and the
Cunningham.
Steelers, they picked him.
Randall Cunningham you had for the Eagles there, and he was he was a freak of nature doing the shit he did. Plus, he had a cannon for an arm, too. He wasn't one of these, Tim Tebow who could run a little and then throw a wounded duck over the middle. Cunningham could throw the ball 80 fucking yards and then, dodge tacklers like Barry Sanders. He was a different case. And Cordell Stewart, it took them 5 years to even let him be a quarterback. He used to play quarterback, then he'd be a fucking, a tight end for 3 plays.
Right.
Nobody wanted a scrambler back then. Think about all the
Vick.
Michael Vick, that was later though. That was
Look
in the
at
2000s.
Us just picking up all the black quarterbacks. Jesus.
Well, I mean that's what
awful.
It was then though.
That's the only ones that
athletic. Steve Young though ran around a lot.
He did,
but he became when he was in the NFL, he became a pocket passer.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted him to do. There was all those guys. That was
I would scramble, but Jesus Christ, I would be on the edge of my seat when he did it.
He would do it when he needed to do it.
Yeah.
But he was like Randall Cunningham Randall Cunningham could throw from the pocket, but if it broke down, watch the fuck out because he could do anything then you were in deep shit. It was almost better to just let him throw from the pocket.
When Randall ran, though, you were like, oh, yeah, that guy can run. When John Elway ran, you were like, don't do that.
But he was good at it.
Terrible.
He did, but he was still pretty fast, though.
He's fast, yeah.
He led the Yankees farm system in stolen bases one summer. Yeah, he's a fast guy, John Elway. He's
stunning.
Just huge. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. How fast do you want him to fucking be?
I don't know. Maybe just look like you're good at it. You know what I mean? He looked like
I think
shit.
it's also in football we're trained too that number 7, the quarterback face mask, the quarterback pads. None of it looks right running. It's just not supposed to be running.
When he runs, it's like, oh Jesus!
Oh Jesus! He's going to break something.
Yeah, something's about to break.
Yeah, it's true. But no, back then, look at all the guys who won Super Bowls. It was Troy Aikman won a shitload of them. Jim Kelly went to the Super Bowl every year. These guys they were statues. You know what I mean? That was even like the Drew Bledsoes who got good at the end of the decade.
Sure.
Brett Favre moved around a little bit, but if you have an arm like Brett Favre, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Before that, Dan Marino was a statue.
Yeah.
These guys, Joe Montana he was good at rolling out and shit, but he's not going to take off and run anymore.
No, he's going to throw. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's just got to get away from the guys that don't want him to.
That's what I'm saying. So if you look at that, and then in the 2000s, once Vic came in, then people started looking at it like, well, you know what? I mean, that's actually a valuable weapon to have.
Sure.
Like everybody runs a 4.2 40, like he did.
And a lefty. That was incredible.
And a lefty.
It's so wild to watch him play.
And he had a cannon for an arm. He's a freak of nature, athletically, and just he's gifted. You know, that's it. He's
asshole, but whatever.
Well, yeah, great though, great, amazing,
unbelievable player,
amazing player. So, and good quarterback. He even got really good. He was even getting great at because in college, a lot of these guys, especially if they're so good, they don't even have to read defenses. They're just. My receiver's better. I'm going to throw over the top to him and fuck you.
Trust in the system.
Yeah, whereas a lot of these, Vic started really getting into, he was getting good at reading defenses and shit too once he got to Philly and all that sort of thing and became a veteran and stopped trying to run all the time. But in the end, though, quarterbacks, they're going to have to learn to be pocket passers eventually if they want to play past 30 years old because at some point you're not going to be running around and getting hit all the time. It's just not
running and beating the shit out of yourself for not winning a Super Bowl. It's not worth it. It's not.
It'll shorten your career. I mean, Tom Brady runs like an 8.6 40. You know what I'm saying? There's guys on his team that could probably beat him on their hands in a fucking 40. But he'll play till he's 50 because he's been tackled. He's been hit 3 times in his whole career. Right. That's why. You know what I mean? And he was injured for a whole season on 2 of them, and then fucking he doesn't take hits well. He just stands in the pocket, gets rid of the ball. So that's the longevity way to do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Cody who was doing this. So on the team though, they had a guy named Mike Frazier, who is a nose guard who had 23 sacks that year.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? So I don't know what he ended up doing, but he was good in high school, I'll tell you that much. So then the game against them, the Burke Burnett Bulldogs, Jesus, do they have to make it that hard to say?
All the B's.
All the goddamn bees. Stephenville fell behind 16-0 in the first quarter.
Oh.
But then Cody Ledbetter leads them to 32 unanswered points.
Oh, shit.
To beat the Bulldogs 32-16.
32.
Shit.
They're going for 2 every goddamn play too. Every time they score a touchdown.
Or they get some field. Probably. I guess if you have this guy at your quarterback, why not? Just
the other team did too. They scored 16 unanswered, and then they put up 32. That's just always going for 2.
Yeah, tale of 2 games there, or a couple of field goals. Probably going for 2 though.
Yeah,
because a lot of times in high school too, the kickers aren't worth shit.
Yeah,
kickers are really hard to come by. So
and if you got a dominant ass quarterback, you may as well give it a run.
Well, if the guy's 50-50 on an extra point, you're at least that with him just trying to run it in.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, it's probably a better. The odds are better. So they ended up their first drive was a 12 play drive. That's like a. Jesus Christ, it's like a Bill Parcells team drive. Just Otis Anderson down. Up the middle. There he goes.
I want him huffing and puffing.
That's it. This will wear him down. It'll control the clock. So they ended up, Ledbetter ended up having a touchdown pass, a touchdown run. He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's absolutely killing it. And then the next week, they ended up losing, though.
Oh.
So there was, they lost the next week to Wilmer Hutchins. I don't know fucking who they are. This is the Class 4A semifinal game.
Okay.
This is a state playoff. They lost 35-18, and Cody said, quote, "I'm happy. I really am. Nobody ever thought we would get this far. People wrote us off at the beginning of the year, and we ended up here, losing to Wilmer Hutchins."
Yeah.
But, you get it. He said, quote, "We did our best. I thought I had a good game, but we missed a few we could have hit. Those things happen."
Yeah.
Not going to put any blame on anybody.
Not anybody except for everybody else, because I did what I was supposed to do.
Thought I did. He was 13 of 32, which is not good.
Not good at all.
That is like 40%. That's not very good at all.
It's a lot of drops.
I would say 178 yards there. He only completed 3 passes in the whole second half.
Wow.
And then said, "I thought I had a good game." I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the receivers were really dropping shit that night. It's the only thing I can think. He did say, though, they're the best team we played all year. Nobody's held us to less than 28 points, and they only got 27 in this game, so they were a little disappointed there. He said, quote, "They're a great football team. They're clean." The hell does that mean?
I don't know.
They're clean. I was smelling asses out there, and those guys were... zestfully clean. Like, they smelled good, actually. It wasn't even neutral. Like, I was actually like, what are you wearing?
Commercial, those guys.
Yeah, I was like, what are you guys wearing? We need to convert what we're doing over here.
Is that zest or Irish Spring? I smell you.
I smell you. He said, quote, "They don't talk any lip or anything. They just play football. That's the way it's supposed to be played." Shut up, Cody.
Yeah.
How many times over the course of this will we say, "Shut up, Cody"? Shut up, Cody.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
They didn't make us feel bad when we were losing. They're a clean team.
They're clean. They didn't talk any lip or nothing. What are you, in the 50s? This is 1990. He's saying this. He said those words on December 16th, 1990. They don't talk any lip or nothing or anything. I'm sorry. They just play football. That's the way it's supposed to be played.
All right, sure.
Thanks, Grandpa. Thanks, Grandpa Cody.
Well above his years.
Well above his years.
Yeah.
He was 121 of 224 for 2,888 yards and 33 touchdowns there. So that's his season. He said that the second half was bad, and they were just rushing lots of people, and they were playing good man coverage against him, and that was that. So they lost the game. But Ledbetter's an all-state quarterback this year.
Yeah.
So an all-state quarterback in Texas is like
oh boy.
I don't even know. That's like some kind of like pageant queen in Beverly Hills, there was an
avalanche.
Hedge fund manager's kid in New York. I don't
avalanche of cheerleader pussy being thrown at him.
Oh my God!
It's got to be bananas.
The amount of beer and blonde girls that this guy has consumed by the age of 17 years old, because he's only 17 when he's a senior here.
Yeah.
So the amount that's being ingested right now. He's just taking his pickup truck that I don't know what he has, but I'm assuming he has a pickup truck, and it's just full of girls. I feel like, and he's just taking them around. Come on, ladies, and they're like, yay, hee, and it's just a lot of giggling, like 50s giggling. I feel like. They're like, you don't talk any lip or nothing, and they just hop in the back.
He's got a pickup bed and a cab full of blondes, whether it's beer or women. It's all blonde.
No shit. He's just kicking out anybody who's not. That don't look natural. Not even
no
dyed
Guinness,
blondes.
Please. Just the blondes.
Just only blondes now. He's and also he led the team obviously to the semifinals. He was also a pole vaulting state champion,
really,
as well. He cleared 15 feet 6 inches.
That's all upper body, right?
I don't fucking know what that is. That looks physically impossible. Like it looks like something you would think of and be like, well, that would be silly. Kind of like when you see people with bicycles with wings and they're trying to fly it, and you go, well, obviously that's not going to work, and they fall down a hill. That's what it looks like it's going to happen. Like, whoop, and the guy's just going to fall backwards, or the pole's going to snap.
Right.
Impale him on the other side. And
that's what I see every time, especially even in the Olympics. But those poles are flimsy as fuck.
They really have a lot of give.
They do.
They really do. And then they just snap the dude over like a fucking catapult. It looks... I don't know who the fuck came up with that as an event. Whose idea was it? Like, what if we got a really long stick? Like a really long stick. Like, well, how long are we talking? Really long. I'm like taller than your house. Get that stick, and
not
we had a
your
guy.
Goddamn broom. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, a big stick, and then we had a guy fucking run with it, and then he just sticks it in the ground and shoots himself over something. Why? What's he shooting himself over? Doesn't matter. Just a thing. Just a barrier of some kind. What the hell's the difference? It doesn't matter.
Over a goddamn tree. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I guess. Well, isn't the pole going to break? Oh, boy, that is a tough one, huh?
The first ones had to be just stiff-ass sticks, right? Not like flimsy bamboo like they use, or fiberglass, or whatever the fuck that is.
That's the thing. I would assume that the quality I would assume it's like golf, okay? Because I don't want to take away, because someone's going to be like, I pole vaulted in high school, and you got to have, I understand. It's not something that if you just get a good stick, you can just do.
Right.
But it's kind of like golf, where if you have two people that are really good at it, this of equal measure, and someone's playing with equipment from 30 years ago, and someone's playing with new equipment, the new equipment guy's going to win, even if they're equally skilled.
Not even just win. It's going to be embarrassing. You're not even going to get
drive it 40, 80 yards further over here. They're going to snap a guy. I think maybe that's why pole vaulting keeps breaking records, probably because they keep getting better sticks. I don't know. Somebody tell us about those sticks.
And what they jam the point of that stick into, there's a little wedge there where the stick stops. You got to assume that didn't exist when this shit started. You know what I mean?
Probably not. They probably just somebody took their toe and went in the dirt, kicked some. You know what I mean? Like you do,
just over time. Enough guys rubber. Jabbing their pole, it makes a little difference.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, you just put it in your pole hole. It's right. You could see it. Be careful."
The guy that went first always lost. I'll tell you that.
Oh, every goddamn time.
The guy that went last every time won.
He was like, man, I really had some good grip on that pole. I don't know what to say about it. Unless they had to use the same pole. It might be weak by then.
Yeah, there's a good
snap
point,
on them.
So.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
So, Cody, being a state, all state.
Yeah.
Fucking muckety-muck, I don't know, a pickup truck full of cheerleaders. He decides that he's going to go to college here.
All
and
right.
he's, he's not going to go to, Notre Dame or Florida State or someplace like that. But he does get a full ride somewhere, and he goes to New Mexico State.
All right.
The Aggies.
Yeah.
The other Aggies, not the A&M.
Not the
ones.
Lobos.
No, not the Lobos. New Mexico State. And here, I got to turn the monitor towards
I
you.
cannot wait to see this shit.
Here's your logo.
Oh, my.
Aggies.
Is that New Mexico or Texas? Jesus.
Well, yeah, he's got a little
NM
NM on his jersey, on his shirt there. But it looks like Blackjack Mulligan, if you know old school wrestling. He's like a very angry-looking cowboy with a big old black mustache and two guns ablazing.
Absolutely.
And New Mexico State Aggies. I don't know. And isn't an Aggie some kind of...
it's an
agricultural?
thing.
Yeah.
Why's it got guns?
I'm going to shoot them plants if they don't grow right. He's loading his guns. What you doing there, pal? My crops ain't coming in quite right today, and he spins it and slaps it in there.
Eggplant's lopsided.
I'm going to go talk to him. Gun in the holster.
You're going to go have a chat with them pumpkins.
That's called New Mexico farming. Yeah, they're not real round today. That's going to have a talk with them, tell them to straighten themselves out.
Chit chat with the pumpkins.
Oh, Christ, man. I am fucking telling you. That's how we do it here in New Mexico. That's how we farm. You got to farm at the tip of a gun, see? That's the only way to do it. Gun barrel farming, we call it here in New Mexico.
Cabbage comes in a lot better under duress.
That's what it said. We got carrots the size of, it's like you could pole vault with these things. They're so goddamn big. I'll tell you what, they're long. That's how... It's just from a little... Now, you get your asses up here and grow now, and they do it. They know.
How'd you get your carrots so long? You ever heard of a 357? We got carrots down here. We call them Smith & Wessons.
Think you're going to win the state record for biggest biggest arugula bushel this year, do you? So if you what, son?
You can pole vault. Holy shit!
I got a Colt 45 here. Says differently. Bang, click.
Holy fuck! So, I don't get it. I don't understand why an Aggie's got weapons. That's crazy.
Beats the shit out of me. He's very angry too. He's not even like happy. He looks like, you motherfucker. He's going after somebody or thing or vegetable. So, very angry.
It's so hard. You can pole vault. It hurts. It's so funny.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to be pole vaulting carrots, and he goes to New Mexico State under Coach Jim Hess, who I assume is a shitty coach because their record is 2-9 his first year there in 1991.
There's got to be another Coach Hess because I swear I've heard that.
There's other Hesses, I think. Yeah. There's Hesses. There's coaches, Nazis. There's lots of Hesses around. It's a gas station chain in New York. The owners of the Jets used to be Hesses. There's a lot of Hesses. Yeah. Hess is there was a Hess, yeah.
All right.
It's a lot of everybody. Hey, by the way, everybody, some of these are just for us. Some of these episodes and this might be one of them. So, I don't know. You know, like
Having a good time, I'll
like
tell you that.
Me. Yeah. There you go. Don't worry. There'll be Darryl Strawberry or somebody coming up pretty soon. But for right now, fuck Cody, and we're going to have fun here.
Got your number,
up,
Cody.
Yeah. 91, New Mexico State, 2-9, and I looked like on their roster to see if they had a guy who ended up. Nobody ever in the NFL on this team. It's just a
goddamn
bunch of guys selling cars now or doing whatever. I don't know what they're doing with something, insurance, whatever. Cody is on this team. He apparently plays in 6 games, but doesn't. These are it seems like mop up duty. And they're getting the shit kicked out of him because they're 2-9.
Yep.
Because he's 19 of 39 for 224 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions.
Oh, no.
Which is more than he threw in all of high school senior year. Right. So that's not great in 39 attempts. Bad stuff there. But his rating is 84.9. That's how useless a quarterback rating is.
Right.
That sounds decent, but then you look at it and you go, oh, that's not good.
Yuck, I don't want him playing for my team.
That's pretty lousy. 92, New Mexico State. I think he's injured or something. He's not there the whole year. He has no stats this year. It's like he's off the team, but he's still on the team. So he's on the roster with no stats. So I think he was probably injured and put on the
crops.
Yeah, that was the thing. That the part of being on New Mexico State is. Yeah. It's a random drawing, but at the beginning of every year during training camp, you pull straws, and if you're the guy, you're sorry, you got to go threaten the crops now. That's part of it. You miss a year. You miss a year sometimes.
At the corn.
That's it. They say your position on the team will be here when you get back. I mean, it's like getting drafted to war. Yeah. It's not like you're going to lose your job. You're going to fight Hitler. Obviously,
we're kick the shit out of the beats.
Yeah, that's it. You go. You go tell the green beans to come in better and make sure that they're in bigger bushels, and then
we'll see what your position is next year based on your crops.
We'll come back that's part of it. It's your productivity as a player, your arm, your understanding of the offense, what the coaches think of you, your esteem with teammates, and how well you are with the crops. I mean, let's be honest here. Let's see your carrots. You want to start on this team? Let's see your carrots, pal.
Hey, you got cut. His carrots are pretty short.
I mean, I don't know. I think maybe those are some second string carrots there, son.
Yeah.
93, he's back on the team here, and it looks like he's going to start here from now on and become a pretty good success with New Mexico State. Not the team, but him personally.
Sure.
The team's 5-6 in 93, though, so that's something. 5-6 is some shit here. And Cody, this is how the newspaper put it, quote, Cody Ledbetter remembers the date distinctly, November 20th, 1993. Quote, I don't think I'll ever forget that date. Oh boy, we were 3 points and about 3 minutes from getting a conference ring, national TV exposure on ESPN, playing in a bowl game, and possibly a bowl ring. They were playing against Utah State, and they ended up losing.
Oh no!
So they lost 20-17. From the Big West Conference Championship, which kept them out of the all prestigious Las Vegas Bowl, which is obviously one of your big ones.
Yeah,
clearly. So he says that he uses that date and that loss to always keep things in perspective from then on in the future. That's right. He's like, man, I'm telling you, it's happening for him here. So the next year, that year he was he was in 11 games. He was 158 for 300. So I think he's a starter then, definitely. And attempts, 2,177 yards, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. So,
I mean,
throwing some
points
picks
on the board and giving some away, but 13-13, there are NFL players that do that too.
But yeah, and again, we don't know what kind of receivers he's got too. We don't know if there's a lot of tipped balls, guys. Right. Tip ball goes up in the air.
Bad route runs, anything.
Yeah. Those are dependent on each other. That relationship. Quarterback sucks without good receivers. Receivers suck without a good quarterback.
Sure.
So 94, New Mexico State. They go 3-8 that year again. So this Jim Hess does not have a wonderful record. And there are some games where they just get the absolute piss pounded out of them too. That's one of these things in college, man. When you have teams that are like national powerhouse and they play a team who's pretty mediocre in their conference, you can get some really lopsided fucking games, and that happened here with them a few times. They had a game, where was it? There's one game they lost they lost by 60 points or some shit to some. It was some embarrassing fucking amount. There's a game that they're playing Florida, and it's just like they're talking about how bad they're going to get beat, basically.
They already know it.
Yeah, they said that Ledbetter, though, ended up connecting on 3 first-half touchdowns to quote, keep the score somewhat respectable.
They had to score 21 in the first half to not look like complete fucking assholes.
We kept it somewhat respectable. Didn't look like we didn't show up or anything. Right. So that's hilarious, man. Cody, I want to call him Corey. Cody said, quote, he's a great receiver. He's one of those guys that nobody wanted him, and then he comes out here and he's making a career for himself and a name for himself. He's got great hands, real good speed, and he goes and gets the ball.
Okay.
That's terrific there. So good for him. Nobody wanted him, this guy, though. He's a piece of shit. We took him in, and we did.
Took a chance. It's kind of paying off.
Took a chance on the guy. So 94, he's starts in 11 games. He's 120 for 247. So that's under 49% completion rate, which is not what you're looking for in a college quarterback for like the NFL anyway. 11 touchdowns, only 6 picks this year though. So still, it's just not spectacular. He's not setting anything on fire here. But 95, he 95 they come around. Oh, here's some big losses that they had in 95. They had let's see, I don't know if this is 94 or 95, but they lost to Florida 70-21. That was that Florida game.
God.
Where they kept the score, quote, somewhat respectable. 70-21 is considered respectable.
And they put up all those points in the first half. The second half, they got blown out.
Terribly. Yeah. Jesus Christ. And then number 9, Arizona, the Wildcats beat them 44-0 as well. So here's a picture of him in the paper from that point, which is,
well.
He looks like a blonde.
Yeah.
He looks like Sylvester Stallone in Tango and Cash. That's what he looks like, doesn't he? With the round glasses, but the
round
hair.
Glasses, square fucking head. He's a blockhead. Yeah. Great hair.
Yeah. He's blonde though.
Yeah.
So if he had dark hair, he'd look like Sylvester Stallone in Tango and Cash. Exactly. He's got a tie on. This is like his senior picture.
Of course.
Clearly, he looks very serious.
Right.
It looks like his picture for a law firm for the website.
It does.
Yeah. This man will sue a doctor who accidentally took out your pancreas. Like, that's the guy.
Hire my sexy ass to sue the doctor that left a sponge in you.
There you go. He says, what's he talking about? Some game here. He says, quote, I think this can go one of two ways. One, we can feel like we did some decent things against 2 of the best teams in the nation. So let's use this as a building block. Or 2, we can say we got the crap kicked out of us and we're not any good. So that's what he said there. He was like, either way, though, you can look at it one of two ways. He says, though, that there's a game against UTEP that's very important and all of this shit. He said that, quote, UTEP scares the hell out of me. I know they're a good football team, but first of all, we've lost 5 straight games dating back to last year. Once you get that first win, you stop second guessing yourself and wondering if you can win. Mm-hmm. So they're
this
really
year they haven't won a single game.
Doing bad shit. They haven't won shit. And Ledbetter, he's got some injuries so far here. I guess he hurt his hand on a Florida player's helmet in the season opener, which is not going to help any while they're kicking the shit out of you. He says it's just a nagging thing. Every snap, every time you hand off, it gets banged. It's like when you bite your tongue, then you do it over and over and over again. Just irritating. But I'll play with it. Have to. Ain't gonna sit out. Not for a finger.
Irritating to bite your tongue over and over and over. I'd shoot myself in the fucking face.
When you bite your tongue, you get that little, God damn it, I keep
but you do it over and over.
Even worse.
That's not annoying. That's that's hell on earth.
Ain't gonna sit out, Jimmie. Not for a finger.
Fuck you. I'll quit everything.
Ain't gonna sit out. Not for a finger. The carrots don't get a day off because they're in hurting. Them carrots, if they gonna be pole vaulting carrots, they gotta work every day. So I wonder if that was his trigger finger that he hurt. I wonder if that's what it was. his crop-threatening finger.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it is, but ain't going to sit out, not for a finger. That's the type of guy. Later on, you'll have wished that they took all his fingers. Let's just put it that way. Mm-hmm. So you'll go, man, if only he didn't have fingers, this would be a lot better. He when he got there, he was only 17 years old, by the way.
Really?
When he got to New Mexico State. Yeah, he was young. He was where his birthday fell, I guess, here. He said that he remembers his first game against UTEP, and he said, quote, "It was my first game, the place was packed, and it was our whole season. I didn't get to play in that one. I didn't come in until later when we were playing at Oregon. There was probably like 60,000 people there, but a big crowd like that kind of turns me on."
What?
I want to go out and prove myself, and 30 or 40,000 in our little stadium seem big here. Kind of turns me on, Jimmy. All those people out there watching me, it just makes me, I'm like, what if I bet if I just took my cock out right now, they'd all see it. Even if they didn't want to, they'd have to, because I'm in the middle of all of them.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's fucking hot to think about that.
It's hot out here is what I'm getting at. We're playing Texas El Paso, and a lot of people. Turns me on, Jimmy. So 1995 Aggies, they go 4-7. Woohoo! Look at that, 4-7. That's something. So Jim Hess still the coach. Apparently, they don't expect better than this. They don't expect 500 out of this guy. Yeah. That's what it is. They're just like, I mean, fuck it.
We're New Mexico State. You think we can get any better than Hess?
That's it. They're in the rankings of 108 Division I teams. They're 70th of 108. So that's not good.
No.
The beginning of the season, though, September 5th, 1995, Cody Ledbetter is the Big West Conference Player of the Week, their Offensive Player of the Week. He completed 16 of 27 passes for 269 yards and 4 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown as well in a 45-17 victory over UTEP for the opener. So
okay, they won.
They won, and this year Cody has a killer year here. He is number 7 career in passing touchdowns in the whole Big West Conference.
Really?
So that's from 1969 on. He has 55 of those. This year, he also leads in the entire NCAA, the nation, in interceptions, where he throws 20. He absolutely does. Whole NCAA.
I'm so excited to hear what he led in.
that. Well, he also leads in total plays. Mm-hmm. He runs the most total plays in the entire NCAA with 543.
Wow.
And he also is number 1 in total yards as well in the entire NCAA.
Well, I guess you are going to lead in interceptions probably if you're running most plays.
That's the thing. If you're throwing that many, you're throwing that many passes. Well, think about this. I'll give you his line here. Mm-hmm. 11 games, 259 for 453, 57.2% completion percentage, which is pretty good. That's not bad.
Yeah.
3,501 yards. These are like, mediocre NFL numbers, but he only played in 11 games, so it's not 16. And then at the same time, 30 touchdowns and 20 picks.
It's not bad.
So he's hurling the ball around a lot. I mean, that's just that. So, I mean, he also, 3,724 total yards for Cody, leading the entire NCAA in that.
Makes you wonder how many fucking running plays did they play if he's throwing the ball that goddamn much?
Not a lot. I think their offense was just, I think it was one of those he moves around, he decides whether he's going to bomb it or run for it type of thing, because he has 250 rushing yards as well.
It's a real Boise State kind of football.
Yeah, there's a college, you get all those gimmicky schemes that win. That's just one of those. It depends on the players you get. If you got a bunch of fast receivers, well, fuck it. Your new scheme is they run out and you drop it over the top to them. If you got a bunch of, depends. So he ended up setting the school records for most passing yards, most passing attempts, most passing completions, and most passing touchdowns. I would venture to say probably also set the school record for most interceptions as well, because he has 43 total in his career at New Mexico State. 55 touchdowns, though, but 43 picks. That's a lot of picks.
Sure is.
But still, though, he's doing wonderfully. You got to most total yards in all of college football, Grace. That's right.
Gotta be.
That has to be Grace.
It's a record.
At that point.
Yeah.
It's a record, for Christ's sake. What do you want?
And we've never
guy?
Heard of him, so he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring.
No, well, I mean, he could. There's guys
that's a great point. But, there are so many quarterbacks that have rings that you don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, you're like, that guy has a ring?
What?
Yes, he does. Wow, I didn't know that. Holy shit, that's wild. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
So anyway, after Grace, here comes the 95 NFL draft. Here, oh baby, we've talked about this one before. Do you remember? Yeah. Number 1 overall pick, 95, Jimmy.
Ragib Ishmael? Is that too late? That's late. Oh, yeah.
Kajana Carter.
Holy shit, really?
The Bengal running back here out of Penn State who was injured, and I think he blew his knee out in the first preseason game that he played in for the Bengals.
He never did anything, really. I mean, he played football, though.
Oh, yeah. He played. He ended up staying, but he was, I want to say, first quarter of the first preseason game with the Bengals after his number 1 overall. He blew out his knee, destroyed it.
Poor bastard.
And was never the same guy. Tony Baselli, number 2. Steve McNair, number 3. Oh, my. Yeah. Steve McNair. Kerry Collins in there. Kevin Carr. And Steve McNair was one of those guys, like we were talking about, who could move around, but I mean, fuck, could he throw the shit out of the ball, too, and he was a real smart guy, too. But there was a lot of people not knowing whether to take him or not because he's from a Division II school, and they throw the ball all around, and he worked out pretty goddamn well, I would say.
Yeah.
We got Michael Westbrook, Kerry Collins, Mike Mamula, Warren Sapp here, number 12 overall. That was when he dropped to number 12 because there was somebody put out, quote, drug rumors about him. So there's a whole documentary about the draft, the 95 draft. Really? You can find it on YouTube. It's called, I think, Caught in the Draft is what it's called or something. Okay. And the big storyline is Warren Sapp was supposed to be like maybe a top 3 pick. And he just dropped because, and you could just see him sitting there pissed off. Like every pick, he'd be like, man, this is bullshit. Like, fucking goddamn it. He was all mad.
11, not even top 10?
Yeah, no, 12 he went.
Wow.
Number 12 to Tampa Bay, and he was pissed because he was from Tampa and he hated the Bucks. He's like, they're the sorriest fuck.
Hate this town. I started NFL.
Sorriest fucking team.
Started football so I get the fuck out of here.
God damn it. Here I am right back. Hugh Douglas, Ty Law, Corey Stringer, who he died, didn't he? Corey Stringer's the dead. He's the guy who dropped dead for the Vikings offensive tackle.
Oh, shit.
Dropped dead in like a summer workout or some shit.
In practice.
Derek Brooks, number 28.
Okay.
The Bucks got Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp in the same round.
Wow.
Hall of Fame
Sick.
in one round of one draft. So it goes all the way through, all 7 rounds, and Cody is not selected in the NFL draft at all. So he's very disappointed.
They took Kerry Collins. Ouch.
Fuck, high up, too. He's got his fingers crossed for the CFL draft. Maybe the Canadians will take him. Who knows? And he doesn't get drafted there either.
Oh, my God.
That's not a long draft, though. But still, he was hoping to be taken by the way, this is fucking hilarious. The CFL, at this moment in time, in this season here, is broken into 2 divisions.
Yeah.
There's the North Division and the South Division.
Okay.
And the North Division has 3 more teams in it than the South Division has, which is very strange arrangement. And I'm like, how is that? Then I see how the North and South are broken up. The North are Canadian teams and the South Division are American teams. So that's how that works. Calgary, Edmonton Eskimos, who just changed their name, I think, didn't they?
I would hope so.
BC Lions, Hamilton Tiger Cats, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Saskatchewan Rough Riders, of course, Toronto Argonauts, and the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Of course.
The only difference is Saskatchewan Rough Rider is 1 word, Ottawa it's 2 words, so obviously much different. Imagine trying to deal with that trademark. South Division is the Baltimore Stallions, the San Antonio Texans, the Birmingham Barracudas, the Memphis Mad Dogs, and the Shreveport Pirates.
Boy, oh boy.
There's always an off. The WFL had a Shreveport team. It's so strange. Anyway, 1996, he's CFL here. He goes, apparently there are... different he doesn't get drafted, so he's got to kind of bounce around, and he ends up signing on with the Edmonton Eskimos.
Okay,
so he does that. There's a big article about him in his rookie year. It's his first preseason game, And he was saying how, it's a lot different. And the coaches said, though, he did a really good job. He played about a quarter and a half. And the only thing he said, though, is, quote, "I wouldn't consider myself a pocket passer. I appreciated them allowing me to roll out and get it out in the open and show a little bit of what I can do during the game. I still need to sit in the pocket some and learn the reads and go through the defense, but anytime I can run around and try to make a big play or hit a guy while I'm running, then it's a bigger chance for a big play."
Okay.
Big.
Right.
And at the same time, it's also a bigger chance for an interception. That's why they don't like you to do that.
Right.
Very few guys are Aaron Rodgers who can just get outside the pocket and freestyle and just fucking, not throw 30 interceptions a season. Doesn't happen a lot.
And even with that, he can stretch the field and somehow still put it in somebody's hands that's on his team 80 yards down the field. That's crazy.
There's not a whole lot of guys in the history of football that could do that, so... It's
across the body. It's nuts. Like if he rolls out to one direction, he still has the whole field he can play with. Whereas that's dangerous with any other quarterback.
There's an old Brett Favre play against the Lions. It's on YouTube. It's a very famous play where he rolls out completely over to his left, almost to the fucking sideline, and then just chucks it out of nowhere, to the complete other side of the field. And hits a guy in the other back corner of the end zone, and the complete other corner of the field. The guy's, heels are against the back line, just catches the ball it's like a punt return and falls out of bounds. It's the fucking, and it's like a 60-yard throw. So, or like a 50-yard. So he's at the 50, and he throws it 50 yards, and then another, 30 across the field too.
That's nuts.
And not unnaturally, too.
Right.
On the other side. It's the weirdest, most freak of nature
fading
throw.
Backward. It's all nuts.
It's the most freak of nature throw you'll ever see, where you're like, holy shit, that fucking, what the hell is up with that?
And commentators that are watching it go, he's throwing to the other, this is going to be bad. And it ends up with your mind is blown. It doesn't make sense. It defies all laws of football.
Well, and the guy in the end zone was wide open because they had stopped guarding him.
Sure.
Because he's out of the fucking play. Your quarterback's all the way on the other side of the field, 50 yards up. That guy's out of the fucking. He might as well be in the stands. Who cares? And he was the only one waiting for a touchdown.
Be in his car, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's how far out of the play he is. The coaches said, quote, "We wanted to see him get out and run around," about Ledbetter. "We wanted to see him cause things to happen, and that's why we gave him a lot of options, a lot of rolls and runs and stuff. That's the way we were told he plays." Did you watch film?
Right. Haven't you heard of him?
You're his coach.
Right.
That's the way. We heard a few things about him. What are you talking about?
Heard he's put a helmet on before. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. He's played football. He said, "We kind of held him under reins in training camp, having him throw from the pocket, because sooner or later you have to learn that. But we knew as soon as we got to a game situation, he was going to get out and run, and he did a good job running." And he said that he's frustrated. He was frustrated by all of that, and I gave you his quote that he said about that. And he said that "I wasn't trying to force anything. Coach is always telling me about being 2nd and 4. If I can run the ball to get where we're at 2nd and short, that's what I want to try to do. I could have thrown the ball a couple of times when I ran it, but the big thing for me is I didn't turn the ball over. I threw out of bounds. I made a bad read on the first play I had. I probably could have hit C.J. Davis for a touchdown, and I threw it up the middle and set it to the outside. But other than that, I was real happy with the way I threw the ball." So there you go. He said he's doing well, and he's he doesn't want to slide. They said he doesn't slide. He likes to get tackled, and he said that's what happens when I play hard. I get tackled. He's just tough. He said so. He needs to get in better condition, though. He does. So Edmonton Eskimos, they go 11-7 that year. 18 whatever the fuck games they play. They go all the way to the Grey Cup, to their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just a cup full of poutine and packed with it. And
fries hanging out the sides.
All out the sides. Enough for the whole team. It's pretty amazing. And it's they lose the Grey Cup, though. But that's all right. He's 25 of 67 for throwing, which is terrible. 37%, not good at all. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, but he doesn't play that much. So at the end of 96, Edmonton ends up letting him go, and he ends up not signing on with anybody in 97. He basically as the Edmonton trades him for like a 6th round draft pick, and then they end up cutting him, the team they trade him to. So nobody wants him. So 98, he ends up, I saw he had a tryout with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He was with them for a while.
Right.
And then he ends up on the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Okay.
That's his squad here.
That's a football team.
That's a football team, the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Okay.
It sounds like a high school football team, but it's a football team. And even the logo, look at the logo, Jimmy. That's not a professional logo.
What? Looks like a fucking swim team logo. What is that?
Yeah, a high school swim team logo. Tiger Cats.
Like what, as opposed to the Tiger Dogs? What are you talking about, Tiger Cats?
Tiger Cats.
What are we doing?
Well, the Tiger Cats are 12-5-1 that year. And they go to the playoffs here, and they go all the way to the Grey Cup as well.
Really?
They go to the Super Bowl, too. So this is crazy. All the way to the Grey Cup, and they lose that also. Okay. So Cody's a good luck charm.
Sure is.
He doesn't have to play. He's a good luck charm here. He's 18 of 33 on the season for throwing, which is for passing, which is better than it was last year. 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, which is not as great. No. That's flip-flopped the last time. So 1999, he Hamilton again, and they go 11-7 this year. Again, he's the backup. He only has 20 pass attempts this whole season. Okay. So they go this time, and they go all the way to the Grey Cup again.
My God.
I mean, obviously the chances are a lot better when there's like 12 teams that you'll make it to the Super Bowl. But at the same time, every goddamn team he's on goes all the way to the Grey Cup.
He's undefeated in terms of getting there. That's unbelievable.
Not bad.
Yeah.
He's a good luck charm. And this time they win the Grey Cup.
What?
So
he
is a champion. He's a champion. He's got whatever the Canadian. I don't know if they give you a ring up there.
Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, they give you a ring or like an inscribed hockey puck or something. I'm not sure what you get up there. What do you think you get?
For football, you win your football league and they give you a hockey puck.
They give you a hockey puck and like a fur hat. And like, here you go. Keep warm and play hockey. Okay. And they send you on your way.
They give you a trophy of fucking Wayne Gretzky.
That's it. But that's another thing. You get a framed portrait of Wayne Gretzky. It's not even a picture. It's an artist rendering his hair. His hair is flowing in the Canadian wind beautifully. You get that. It's very nice.
A gift card to Tim Hortons.
Oh, and you get to take one fry out of the poutine cup as well. That's the other thing. They give you that too. I didn't realize. That's part of it.
A bunch of hockey pads and
yep.
Ice time.
You win ice time.
Yeah. Figure maybe you should probably take up hockey
and like 3 beaver pelts for some reason, just pelts. And you're like, okay, I guess I can sell these to a trader or a trapper or some kind. Okay. Someone back east will want these wares.
I want that to be real. I want whatever they win, whatever the trophy is for football, just to be hockey garb as far as the eye can see.
Just a wheelbarrow full of Canadian stereotypes. Is that it? Just that's the only thing.
And hockey shit.
And you get to kick Dave Coulier in the nuts. Yeah. That's part of it too. He's not Canadian. He's from Detroit, but that's very close to
close
Canada.
Enough, right.
Yeah. I don't know why I brought him up, but still.
He slept with a Canadian.
That's what I think it is. It's the Alanis Morissette connection, and he looks like he could be Canadian. It's got that mullet, that persistent mullet.
People in Detroit, it's close enough. You may as well be Canadian.
It's very close. Just a very different attitude from Detroit to Canada.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that water, I don't know what happens, but it's kind of like when you go through the water and a dog can't smell you anymore. Like someone's trying to track you. I feel like whatever that is, it goes both ways. Washes the Canada off of you, takes the Detroit right out of you. I don't know what it is.
It's called lead, James.
That too. That too. So, this year, though, so they win the Grey Cup. He gets to eat the poutine fries.
Fantastic.
And they go, what is this here? He goes 8 for 20 in pass attempts for 105 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. So basically just not a factor at all. He probably came in a game when they were winning by a lot or losing by a lot. 2000, the old Tiger Cats here, they go 9-9.
Oh,
so they're back down again.
Team. Look at this.
back to 500. They do go to the postseason because there's not enough teams to have a fucking postseason unless basically everybody goes to the postseason. So it's hard to have a tournament when you have 4 teams. It's pretty much just a Final Four. So they lose, though, in the first round, and that's it for them. But he, on the other hand, 20 of 40 this year, 40 pass attempts. Oh, boy, it's the most since his rookie year. He gets 40 pass attempts, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. So he is loose with that ball. He likes to... He runs around and lets it go, and to the detriment of everybody. 2001 Tiger Cats, so he's on the team for a few years here. Yeah. They go 11-7. They go to the playoffs again, and they lose in the second round of the playoffs. They win a game and they lose a game. Mm-hmm. He did have 48 pass attempts this year, of which he completed 23 of them for 303 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. So his career in Canada here, that's the last he'll play in Canada, and his career is 94 completions for 208 attempts, 1,244 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Same as high school.
See, not exactly
minus the touchdowns anyway.
Yeah, well, minus all the picks. So not exactly a Hall of Fame career here. He started a grand total of 2 games in his entire career one in his rookie year, 1 in his last year. So that's that. So, and it's funny because Edmonton started him 1 game and then they let him go there. And then Hamilton had him for 3 years. He never started a game, but they kept him on the roster. He'd come in. He started 1 game the last year, and then they're like, we can get rid of him. Like, we can't have him starting. Never mind.
That's too much.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
That is hilarious. So he tries to stay in Canada and play. He tries out for a couple teams, and it doesn't end up working out. So, Jimmie, what do you do when you're an athlete and it's not working out where you are and where you've been playing? Where do you have to go,
Is
Jimmie?
it time to go home to high school coach?
It is time to go back home to get an assistant coaching job at the old high school. So
comes home a hero.
Oh, yeah. I played, and for the kids, he played in the Canadian League.
Played professional football
is pro.
Teams. Yeah.
Someone signed his check to play football.
He got paid to play football. That's true. Yeah.
He comes in a different, Hamilton Tiger Cat shirt on every day. It's just all merch they gave him. They just gave this shit to us, guys. I got this, and here's my hockey puck and my pads for when we won the Grey Cup.
Look at this Bob Probert jersey.
Yeah. It's like a Super Bowl champ would show the kids the ring for inspiration. He comes in with the puck, and he's like, look at this puck. Look at it.
It's real.
It's real. Comes in with his portrait of Wayne Gretzky. Look at this
rendering of the great one.
Dream big, and you can have this hanging in your house too. We all have to share it. We pass it around like the Stanley Cup, obviously. But I got it this week. It's pretty impressive. I hang it in my 1-bedroom apartment. So he coaches at it's spelled Alvarado, Alvarado, but it's said apparently according to this Alvarado.
Bastards.
He moves to Alvarado. He came and he moved to El Paso first.
Yeah.
So he's staying in El Paso. Then he moves to Alvarado with the head coach of the football team there, the Alvarado High School football team here. So he moves with him to coach there. So he's assistant coaching the Alvarado High football team, Alvarado High. Oh. So, 10 years ago, he is the star high school quarterback, blonde kid named Cody with cheerleaders falling out of his truck like poutine fries out of the Grey Cup, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Think about this. And then he's the NCAA leader in total yards.
Yeah.
And he starts 2 games in 6 years and moves back to fucking small town Texas to coach.
Damn it.
So, I don't think it's exactly, not there's anything wrong with small town football coaching, but I don't think it's exactly how he expected this to work out.
And, it's okay to return back home to be an assistant coach somewhere after you've got a boatload and pocket full of cash. Like Mike Bibby coaches the basketball team, the high school team here. And But the difference is he made like $119 million.
That's the thing. Yeah, he doesn't need the money, so he's giving back. That's actually a nice thing to do. This is he needs a job,
right?
And he knows shit about football. Yeah, and he knows stuff about football, so he's going to go for this job is what he's going to do. So that's 2003, and so he coaches. I don't think he's there the entire 2003 season, but he's there for a part of it. And then on 2004 starts here, March of 2004. Well, I know he was there from November to at least from November to January. He was there
a portion of the season, at least.
I'm positive he was there for those 3 months, and there's a reason why I'm positive of that, and that's affidavits and court documents.
Oh no!
That caused him to be arrested. Everyone's like, where's the crime? Oh, here's some crime. March 3rd, 2004, he is arrested. He had taken a few days of personal leave off of work to get his emergency teacher certification. Yeah. I don't know if that's for like emergencies.
Emergency situations.
Emergency. Not like we need a teacher right now. Sir, to put the fucking stamp on it. These cows shit, they're running all over the place. God damn it. Put a goddamn stamp on it. Get him in. He's running there with his certificate. Hold on, guys. Hey, everybody sit down.
I can be an emergency teacher.
Starts turning the lights on and off real quick. Come on, kids. Click, 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 click. Let's go. Oh, shit. Oh, the teacher's back. My name, Mr. Ledbetter, but y'all can call me Cody. So,
shut up, Cody.
Y'all want to see my carrots? I mean, shit. That didn't sound right. So he is arrested, though, and he is charged with having sexual contact with a female high school student.
Oh, he's not allowed to do that anymore, and he forgot.
He was like, I had a dozen of them in the back of my truck.
I've been fucking them. I've been here. Y'all don't know.
Oh, that was 10 years ago. Shit, you're right. You're right. My bad. That was a long shit. That was 15 years ago. God damn it. That was a long time ago.
I didn't realize.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's booked into the Erath County Jail and later released on a $50,000 bail. He faces a charge of indecency with a child, which is a second-degree felony.
Let's go ahead and let that guy bail out.
Yeah, we'll amend those charges. Yeah, because they're saying, well, I mean, it's not like he didn't push himself on her. I mean, he was just having some good loving, and turns out, his pecker got a little ambitious for the birthday to the young lady. That's all.
Which is more...
that's what they would say. That's Texas style.
Which is more of a threat to society? A man who is in a position of trust and fucks a kid, or a guy that grooms one and then fucks a kid? Which one is the worst guy? It's hard to tell.
At least you can hopefully you can keep a kid away from the groomer, but I don't know about the guy at the school is the thing.
Pick a poison. Wolf in sheep's clothing is fucking horrifying.
Shit. And think about it. He's the assistant football coach.
Right.
Where are girls around that?
Excellent point.
It's not like there's girls on the team and he's like, that's where he runs into
Texas
them.
Town?
No, he's like fucking coaching and then like trolling for chicks afterwards. Like,
gross.
I'm gonna go see if the field hockey team's done practicing. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Are the girls that cheerlead, are they practicing while they're practicing? You know what I mean? And he's just like,
I don't think in the same place. Probably
no.
I think the cheerleaders
indoors, right?
practice in a gym, I think. Based on seeing Bring It On for P.S. I Hate This Movie, based on the footage there, I believe the cheerleaders are in the gym working on that shit.
Based on Grease, I would think.
Grease,
didn't they
at the same time?
Didn't they do it outside?
No, that's all outdoors. There, they did do it outdoors. I don't know if they had access to a gym. But based on both. So we don't know, honestly. We have no goddamn idea is what I'm saying here. So he's arrested. It came after a week-long investigation by Sheriff Bob Alford.
All right.
He's of the Sheriff's Department there. He wouldn't comment on the specifics of the complaint, but it's at this moment. But they said they worked closely with the Alvarado School District officials, and the school superintendent, Chester Joroska, said Ledbetter started to work there as an assistant football coach and a special needs teacher. A special needs teacher,
nope.
Jimmy.
Better not be in that room.
Oh, God, please tell me that this girl, that he didn't fucking abuse some special needs girl who's not.
That's horrific,
man. Not that a 16-year-old girl is either way, but it's worse. It's just worse.
Way worse.
If he was taking advantage of
She's
someone.
so much more vulnerable.
That might have more of a vulnerability to bullshit. They said school officials received information suggesting the possibility of an inappropriate contact between Ledbetter and a 16-year-old student. They asked the school officials called the sheriff's department and asked them to do an investigation. Good job, school district there, though. That's one thing I will say. And it's 2004, so it's getting better, but it's not like it is now. So the school district could have brushed that aside, pushed it under the rug. They could have said, we did our own internal investigation. They immediately passed it on to the sheriff's department and said, this is what we heard. You might want to look into it. So, I mean, I do hope they made something up and put them on leave, though. Like, hey, you know what? The special needs classroom needs some construction, so they're not going to. You can go ahead and take about 2 weeks off.
Not going to be on campus for the next month. They're doing it at home, remote learning.
That's what we're going to do here. Just you away from the we're calling it no touch learning. That's the thing, especially for you. So
not that we suspect anything, just
that just wondered. So he was put on leave now after he's arrested, and he'll remain there until after a complete investigation by law enforcement. And privacy laws limit what teachers and administrators can discuss with students regarding the situation, but they said that procedures are being taken to protect the students' well-being. So this was the girl told school officials, she went to school officials here, apparently, that she started having sex with him when she was 16. So this wasn't a one-time thing. This is an ongoing relationship with a 16-year-old girl.
That is crazy.
Student.
Like, what are you fucking
thinking?
What's the end game there? You're going to bring her home to mom? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
there
unbelievable.
Is no end game. That's the definition of thinking with your dick.
Absolutely.
Right there.
Yeah.
And even more too, because it's a weird control thing of like, I'm real. I think it's also for him, like I'm not a psychiatrist, actually, honestly. And obviously,
neither am I.
But neither are you. You're not either, Jimmy. You didn't go to medical school.
I just see
weird.
a lot.
Me neither. Yeah. But like in his brain, this is like, well, when I was in high school, I did this and that. Now I'm 30 and the glory's gone. Nobody's cheered for me in a few years. And then this young girl makes me feel like I'm 16 years old again because I'm a pathetic 30-year-old that can't get on with my fucking life and reconstitute a new identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And be an adult person now that doesn't have that anymore. He's stuck in this weird past, and the fact that he's a high school football coach, I think, helps him stay stuck in it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just
reliving
ugly.
glory days.
Yeah,
the best of his days.
which is fine as long as you stop short of fucking the 16-year-old girls. Yeah. That's the part you can't. You can drink beer and like football and do whatever you want there. Just that's the one part, the truck full of cheerleaders, not going to work. So, so apparently she told school officials this. She said that she wanted to stop the relationship, but was afraid of him.
Yeah.
And didn't know how to do it, basically. So she went to school officials to do it.
Because at first it was kind of hot, and then I was like, oh my God, this is gross.
Yeah, this is weird. He's 30. I feel gross. Who knows? She probably told one of her friends, and that friend probably had a reaction of, oh my God, that's not, like he's abusing you. And then she went, oh, wow. Yeah, that is abuse, isn't it? She's 30.
She thought for a minute about herself, and her friend probably put it in her head. No, you got to look at it from the other side of the table where he has a mortgage and shit. That's weird that you don't have all the same things he has. That's weird.
He's got a lot going on right now. Yeah. He is like less than a decade away from wondering about his prostate. Put it that way. And you,
the man's
have
about
nothing
to have
to worry
a camera
about.
up his ass.
Yeah, and you're worried about how not to get pregnant. These are different. These are different needs.
The camera
wants.
you're about to have is the one for your senior photo. His senior photo is through his asshole.
He's having a senior colonoscopy at this moment.
It's a different senior photo.
A little bit of a different senior photo. I mean, he can put his in the yearbook, but no one's going to want to sign it.
His comes with the video.
Oh, gross. So now, by the way, this is going on in Johnson County, okay? A Johnson County grand jury indicts Cody on 6 counts of sexual assault and 2 counts of improper relationship between an educator and a student.
Yeah. Oh,
Those are
like a special charge. That's great.
Oh, yeah. And it was recently, too, they did that. And it's good they did that because guess what? This week, he's not the only teacher in the area to face similar charges here. This is another one, Bangs High School, which is one that Alvarado plays against all the time.
Say one more time.
Bangs High School. Bangs.
One more time, James, for the people in cheap seats.
As in, those bangs look terrible on everybody, or he bangs 16-year-old girls. You can take whichever one.
Unbelievable.
But that's, there you go. Bangs High School.
Gross.
And, man. So apparently, a guy named Joe Johnson, who was an educator there, they were both charged this week. He's a 27-year-old.
A guy named Johnson who was fucking kids at Bangs High School.
Johnson taken into custody by the Bangs police, who did not like his haircut either. They were like, excuse me. Bangs police. Bangs police. Your friends have turned you in. Bangs police. They look like you woke up at 2 a.m, angry with something, and just went choppity. So, no. Okay, let's go. Come with me. No. And they take her away. And they're like, we're really busy. We had a lot of bad bangs, and then we got to pick up pedophiles. This is a really weird job we have. Just women with bad haircuts and pedophiles. It's a very strange job. I wake up every day. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Guy named Johnson. God damn
Guy
it.
named Johnson. Bangs police.
Holy fuck, man.
You need a comma in there, definitely.
How could he do that? How could he do that?
Hi, Johnson. Bangs High School students?
Yeah,
yes.
right.
How you doing? Nice.
Did that.
Just gives a 5-second pause. Students? Yeah. Bangs High School students? Good to meet you. That's me, Johnson. Bangs High School students. Good to see you. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is gross.
It's too much.
They had I guess he's indicted by the Brown County Grand Jury. He was booked there. A joint law enforcement center charged him with 2 counts of indecency with a child and 1 count of improper conduct between a student and an educator.
I love that charge
Ledbetter,
so much, James.
It sounds so gross.
That's bad stuff right there.
Indecency with a child sounds terrible.
That bad
sounds
enough. And then you get hammered with the other one. Oh,
improper conduct between a student and an educator. Yeah, but that could be they started an Etsy business together. We don't know.
That's a good point.
conduct can be anything. That can be anything. But indecency, there's a dick involved in that.
Now we know.
Someone's dick is out.
Yeah, somebody's genitals were touching the
air. Somewhere in the bowels of Bangs High School. Deep in the bowels of Bangs.
Jenny's in the air, babe.
Oh, God, I'm disgusted right now. I feel dirty.
Raw Jenny's in oxygen. That's what that is.
That's amazing. They've been following Johnson's case since the fall of 2002 when parents provided statements alleging wrongdoing by him. And so it took that long. It took like almost 2 years for this. They said that in general, this is the, who is this? Somebody who's with the district attorney's office, I think. This is the school people. In general, if there's a criminal matter pending in the criminal courts, we work closely with the DA or entity who is handling the case, largely so that we don't contaminate the case if the DA or other entity is not real clear on where they stand. In doing so, we're careful not to jeopardize the direction of their case, the direction their case is going, and generally wait to see if there are other witnesses that they will call or other evidence that they will present. So apparently they just kind of sit back. This is the Board of Education thing here. They said they created the State Board for Educator Certification. It was only created in 1995. And that board oversees all aspects of the preparation, certification, and professional standards of conduct of all public school educators. So, yeah, they make sure they're teaching that Bible good and plenty. Yeah. So down there. So he said that they could seek numerous sanctions or professional disciplinary actions against any educator who's convicted of a criminal charge. Up until October 2003, circumventing an educator obtaining a license in the state of Texas who had previous criminal convictions included disciplinary actions taken by out-of-state districts. Basically, until October 1st, 2003, which is right before Cody started having this relationship, there was a lot harder to coordinate other districts, and it was almost like priests, like they just move them around other districts. You could just move if you had some weird shit going on. They said, though, after that, now the state conducts a Social Security name check and all this sort of shit. And they must provide fingerprints for, they can run them through the NCIC and all that kind of shit. So they also communicate with the FBI now and everything like that. So the former Bangs superintendent, Billy Jack Rankin, old Billy Jack, he said that Johnson passed all Jack and Bangs. There's all these names, Johnson, Jack. Everybody's name has to have something sexual in it with Bangs.
Is there a guy named Drippy Dick? Can we just get to the point?
Yeah, I want to see their entire, staff list. I really do.
Is there somebody named Precum? Somebody named Shaft? Is all this shit coming through?
It's there. It's and then the director of the whole thing is Susan Labia, so she's also in. So they said that Jesus Christ, he said that Johnson passed all the requirements mandated by the state of Texas and all of that shit. So March 17th, 2004. This is 2 weeks later. Okay. 2 weeks later, Cody's arrested again. He's arrested again by Johnson County authorities this time. There was Johnson, and now there's Tarrant County is involved as well. Okay. Because not only was he in different places with this 16-year-old, there's also another girl involved as well. Another 16-year-old. Yeah, he's working on the pickup truck here. He's working on filling it. So he's arrested Tuesday by Mansfield investigators who accuse him of having sex with a 16-year-old girl, taken into custody at his home, and all of this shit here. He is bailed now. Bail set at $175,000 now. Mm-hmm. Now there's a fucking pattern here.
Right.
They accuse him of sexual assault, improper relationships with a student, both second-degree felonies, which carry sentences of 2 to 20 years each. Wow. So that's a lot of sentencing leeway.
Yeah.
That's I assume
depending
how bad
severity.
the acts were.
Right.
Yeah, that sort of thing. The age, the acts.
Right.
But 2 to 20 years is a shitload.
Yeah.
So Yeah, he was arrested in Johnson County. He's been arrested in Tarrant County. They accuse him. The other charges are indecency with a child there. So anyway, they said, quote, this offense took place in a remote part of Mansfield near the city limits. Oh, he took her out in a fucking truck in a field somewhere. You just know it.
Yeah.
You just know it. I don't know that for sure, but the teenager gave the statement to Mansfield police March 3rd. He was arrested after that. And after the first arrest, his attorney vehemently defended his client's innocence and said Ledbetter did not even know the identity of the accuser. They wouldn't even tell him who's making the charge against him due to privacy laws. So he's like, how am I even supposed to defend myself because I don't even know who's saying it? That's his defense.
You know, bro.
The one you're fucking probably.
Shut up, Cody.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you, Cody. That's a shut up. Thank you. That's a big time shut up, Cody.
It really is.
Shut up, Cody.
You know, you fucking jerk.
Hey.
And if you don't know, even more gross.
Even fucking grosser. So the attorney for the Alvarado High School here, this is his attorney. Mm-hmm. His attorney says that he's devastated by the accusation, which he emphatically denies.
Sure.
Did not do anything here. This is ridiculous. I doesn't understand it at all. I touched her improperly several times between October and January. She told her friend that she was afraid and wanted to end the relationship. And but he refused, is what she told. So she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, oh, we're doing it still. Which, if you're 16, I don't know if you know how to get out of that with an adult.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's probably what he was depending on.
From law standards, it just went from statutory rape to rape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From consensual sex with a child, which is impossible. Yeah. That's still rape. But the point is, consensual sex to I don't want to do this anymore. That's legit rape.
Yeah, I know how you can end it. Tell your dad about it.
Yeah.
That'll end it real quick.
Have a chat with Pop.
Her dad's probably the Aggies guy they based the logo on. You know, like, this is like Southwest Texas. You don't fucking diddle somebody's daughter down there and not get shot up, I would imagine. And at least chased around. So
you lose a body part
drag behind a bumper. Yeah. Something. So
they'll gouge you for that shit.
It popped in my head because I was just reading that last week some guy in Texas, his mom and his mom's boyfriend got in a fight, so he beat the mom's boyfriend to death and tied him with a tow chain to the guy's own bumper and drove him 500 yards and then set the whole thing on fire and walked away. The car, the guy, everything. I was like, holy shit. Good God, Texas.
And deputies high-fived him.
I mean, it was weird. So I don't even know if there was physical or abuse or anything. So
who's just he called her a bitch one day?
I don't know, man. This dude snapped. So the friend passed on this kid's concerns to the athletic director, who was also the head football coach there, Howard Wells, who brought in Cody to this whole thing, moved there with him, and he then reported them up the chain. Everybody went up the chain with it and reported till it got to the police.
Yeah.
So everybody did their jobs here. I'll give them that. Right. Nobody brushed it aside. Everybody took it seriously. Fucking good for you. His attorney, Cody's attorney, says, quote, he's devastated.
I bet.
He says it's absolutely not true. He categorically denies any improper behavior with any student. I don't know why this is occurring because I don't know who the girl is what he'll tell me. It all boils down to a student who made the accusation, period. The starting point is to find out who the kid is and what was said. Jesus, that sounds really weird. I mean, I get you. That's discovery, though. As the process goes, you will get discovery.
You'll learn all
that shit. Yeah. You'll learn all that stuff.
Don't worry.
And there is privacy laws for public, but you have to. There's discovery as well of how you know this girl, and the legal system will fill that in. Shut up, Cody. So. Cody says, or his lawyer says, the thing that Cody is most disturbed about. Don't use the words disturbed and Cody unless you're saying you're disturbed by Cody at this point. Don't tell me this shit. Don't tell me, what Cody's most disturbed about. I don't know that he fucked a 16-year-old because I'd find that pretty disturbing.
It's super disturbing.
If I went in my mental Rolodex and that image was there, I'd go, hey, that doesn't belong in here. What's going on? Where'd that come from?
You know what disturbs me
about
Cody is not necessarily that he touched a 16-year-old, had sex, any sort of sexual gratification by a 16. It's that he got to a point where clothes had to come off by a 16-year-old, and he still was hard. That's crazy.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. And like, God, what are you doing?
No.
What are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing?
He saw 16-year-old breasts and was still in. That's crazy.
Like, yep, I'm in, baby.
Jesus.
What a fucking pig. So, I don't know. Cody here, he is most disturbed that he was not informed about the accusations or interviewed by school officials. They didn't come to him and be like, Cody, we hear you're diddling girls. Is this true? No, they went up the line to the police. Well, they're not going to tip you off to this so you can go threaten the girl to shut the fuck up. That's what you would have done.
Right.
Duh, that's why they don't do that. And they said that he was arrested while visiting his mother in Stephenville.
Good.
I mean, the nerve of these people. This poor woman's been through enough. So he also says, quote, so as far as Cody knows, no one who has ever worked with him was ever questioned, and certainly none of his friends were interviewed prior to this arrest. What does that have to do with, was he telling his friends?
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't going to tell his friends he was fucking a 16-year-old probably.
Were his friends fucking the 16-year-old too? They have nothing to do with this then. Right.
Nothing. The assistant DA defended the decision to arrest him without interviewing him first. You don't have to. He said, we have the evidence.
Right.
He said the investigation started. They felt they had enough evidence to arrest him, and they didn't really need to fucking talk to him about it. Didn't matter what he said.
Yeah.
They were arresting him anyway. They needed to do so because the news of the investigation was starting to spread throughout the community, so they couldn't leave the teacher among the students. He said, quote, he hadn't been at school for a few days. We didn't know where he was, but logistics required us to issue an arrest warrant before we located him to ask him to talk to us. So there was that. So these are all the charges. So at this point, he's out on bail.
Yeah.
He gets out on bail. He's got two different sets of charges in two different counties now, also Tarrant and Johnson County. Can't teach right now, obviously. He is fucked. Yeah. There's not a lot of football teams to join.
No.
So he begins driving a truck in his hometown of Stephenville.
I mean,
that is
that's where he should have gone in the first place, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He wanted to be around the kids.
Yeah. Right.
So now he's driving a truck in Stephenville. So, I mean, like I said, nothing against driving a truck at all. It's a way to make a damn fine living.
But it keeps predators out of the schoolroom, which is what
that's a nice thing.
Yeah, that's a benefit.
But it also it's one of those things. If you thought you were going to be an NFL quarterback 10 years ago, probably not where you thought you'd be driving a truck in your old neighborhood.
Sure,
not exactly where you thought your life would end up. So, July 2005, he comes up with a plea deal here. They give him a plea deal here. And he referred comments to his attorney, quote, Mr. Ledbetter recognizes that his behavior was inappropriate. Now he's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Before, he has no idea. Now, quote, it has limited his job opportunities for the future.
I'll bet.
Oh, has it? Shut up, Cody. How's that? Yeah. It's weird. Nobody wants to work with pedophiles. It's very strange. Very few people are like, well, you know what? I'm sure we'll never have a kid around. Sure, why not? Bring him in. The fuck out of here. What business never has anyone under 18 in it? Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
This is not, or has a bunch of guys that wouldn't want to beat the shit out of him if they were, like, I could say he could work in like a foundry or something, but those guys would beat the shit out of him and throw him into the molten whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know, this is not a good thing here. That's what he's upset about, is that it's limited his job opportunities. He pleads to 2 counts of improper relationship and he's going to be sentenced on that, as we'll talk about. This plea deal was approved by both the teenager and her mother in court. They both said that they were okay with it. And the prosecutor, this is the county DA, Johnson County DA Dale Hanna, said, quote, the victim was asking us to do this to avoid going through a major jury trial. She wanted to get on with her life. Okay. I don't blame her. Yeah. If you're at this point 17-year-old girl and this happened to you, do you want it to in a small town to drag the details of what the fuck through the whole thing? Or do you just want, okay, yeah, give him something and let me move on with my goddamn life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I don't have to go sit through the trial and tell every goddamn thing that I did with him.
Yeah. Well, when you're a teenager, you're embarrassed about everything. Yeah. And to be I could imagine being a teenage girl and you have to go through all the details of what you did with some 30-year-old abusive asshole that was, God knows what he was telling her and shit. So,
and how much is the defense going to try to pull this out and make it her fault? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It'll go drag her through it. You never know. She told him she was 18 or whatever. Who the hell knows? So, this all goes through court. Finally, in court in August of 2005. Is his sentencing for this whole thing, and they kind of wrap it all up into one here. Both of the problems. The Tarrant County one, they decide that there wasn't enough evidence to pursue the charges they wanted to there.
Okay.
So they decided they'd put kind of everything into the Johnson County one and kind of sprinkle that on for some character shit. So they give him, the judge must want to punch him in the dick, I would imagine. Any judge, hit him with the gavel in the dick. So he says, "You, sir, may fuck off 10 years probation."
What?
That's it. 10 years probation.
Stop it.
10 years probation. I'm
baffled, James. I'm absolutely baffled.
You get some jail time for fucking a kid, right? You do. I'm sorry.
I thought Texas was hardline on bad people.
I was going to say, now a kid fucking now. Now, come on now. I mean, you seen some of them 16-year-olds? Awfully purty mouths on them. I'm just telling you now. I mean, 14, 13, I understand. But 16, I mean, gee, they're blooming like a yellow Texas rose, boy. Let me tell you something.
Good 45% of them got the braces off by now.
Oh, they got the braces off. Most of them got HPV already anyway. So it's not even like I'm going, what the hell's the difference? That's I don't know what's going on down there.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Texas, but I didn't do this. You did. This is fucking crazy.
How do you let him go, you idiot?
How do you let him go? Wow. And on top of that, you'd think, well, at least he's going to be a registered sex offender now. So, at least people will know, like, within a 20-mile radius to stay away from him. He'll pop up on those apps.
Yeah.
It's
got to go a door knocking for a little bit.
All of those.
Before moving day.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I got all my stuff. Let me get my stack of handouts here for the neighborhood to tell them that I like children. All right, that's good.
Go knock on this door and pray to Christ it doesn't open. I just get to scotch tape this thing to the door.
Yeehaw. All right, then. Won't get. I figure I'll get punched in the mouth a good 2-3 dozen times today. It's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen.
It's a coming.
Then, especially when their teenage daughters answer the door, and then they come to the door and they hear what happened, they really want to whoop my ass.
Yeah.
So he will not have to register as a sex offender.
Unfucking believable.
Will not have to register as a sex offender. That is, I don't even know what to say about that. That's wild.
How is that a deterrent at all?
Yeah. For what he went through, if he really liked it, it might have been worth it for him.
For
he might
sure.
be going, I really liked fucking her. Like, something about fucking a kid. I'm really into it. Please don't isolate that. But you see what I'm saying? Like it's like, well, I mean, 10 years and he can't be a teacher now. Oh boy.
There was 2 of them. He clearly dug it.
He likes him. He can't, he also can't coach at a school or can't teach at a school while serving 10 years probation.
Yeah.
So after that, you can hire him. He won't have to register as a sex offender because a 2003 law, which under he was sentenced, does not require it.
Okay.
They made a difference here.
Under the wire.
And we'll talk about the law for a second, but the Alvarado school superintendent, Chester Jaroska again, he said this is disturbing to him, Chester. Yeah, it never ends.
What in the fuck?
Everybody has a dick name or a banging or Chester's a molester. It never ends. It never ends in this fucking episode.
What is happening?
I don't understand this shit, man.
Did you write this?
No, this is true.
Are we gonna get a fucking it's all a lie at the end?
I
of this?
swear to God, no, I didn't make up an entire episode. This is totally
a washed up player, and we're like, fuck it, I'm gonna make him a pedo.
Just found a picture of a washed-up player and just made up a name. Cody Ledbetter. That sounds like an asshole. This does sound made up. It's not,
I'm going to throw Johnson in there and some Bangs.
It's Bangs High School. Wait, no, Jimmie will never believe that. Well, if I sell it hard enough, I think I can make him believe it. Like, if I act like I'm as shocked as him, he'll probably buy it. No.
By the time I get Chester out, Jimmie's going to sniff this story out.
He's going to definitely know. No, I swear to God, this is not an entire episode.
Absolutely unbelievable and absolutely awful.
It's awful. Everything in here documented as fuck. This is not... Several publications.
Yeah. You've made up the beginning of somebody's life. Are you now making up the end of their life?
Just making up the crime part.
Is that where we've gotten to? We've exhausted this shit?
Pick an athlete, make up a name, take their professional life, use that, and then make up whatever. No, I definitely wouldn't make up a pedophile story because no one wants that.
Nobody wants this, Jake.
No,
I'd
make
have
up
to do this.
I'd make up like he murdered his, something. I'd make up some other crazy shit. Not this. This is
a bridge too far, James.
I've gone too far this time. I mean, cheese wars for small town murder, tulip tennis rackets, bears eating children. All these things are one thing. This is a bridge too far.
Now kids with their lives being ruined.
Oh, my God. No, I did not ruin anyone's life, children's lives with my story. So the fact that he won't have to register as a sex offender is disturbing to Chester. It makes me look bad with this name. He said that he terminated Ledbetter's probationary contract as a special education teacher and football coach there, obviously. They said that the judge here, it includes counseling and a $1,000 fine as well, and community service.
Oh, you better. Yeah.
Community service. And he must surrender his teaching certificate. And also there's a requirement that he must stay away from that teen and anyone under 17. So he's not allowed to be around anyone under 17 anymore. Okay. Like, how old was she the last time he fucked her?
Right.
17? No one under 17. No, 17 or under, he can't. He's 18's whatever, but he likes 17. He'll try to fuck a 17-year-old and 16, so we should probably... Wow.
They should have made it. What's his age? -2. That's it.
Yeah.
We're going to give him 2 years. Outside of that, if he sees a 26-year-old, we'll lynch him. We'll hang him.
Let me ask you something, Cody, the judge says in court. How do you feel about MILFs? Because from now on, it's really what you should be going after.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? So this whole thing goes on. The state, there's a state rep involved in this, who involved the reason why there's no sex offender registry is because it was a law that was introduced. It's the improper relationship law, and it's to protect 17-year-olds from sexual relationships with teachers, because I think 16 is the age of consent. So 17-year-olds legally, I think you can fuck them, but you can't fuck them if you're a teacher. That's the difference. So they put this in here just as like a stopgap.
Yeah.
So the teachers, between it being criminal and them being out of high school, there's a year where it's like, ooh, open season on the 17-year-olds, boy. Woohoo, legal. So
if there's any CPAs somewhere that want to fuck 17-year-olds, I've got a head start because I'm already in the building.
I'm already there, buddy. Before the law was adopted, teachers could be fired but not prosecuted for having consensual sex with students older than 16. So before this, it wasn't even like a state law like you definitely lost your job. You could fuck a 17-year-old student and keep your job, technically. That was possible. Not be prosecuted and keep your job teaching other students. So using that as your own private little nightclub. Or day club, I guess it would be.
It's a daycare,
James. Morning club. Holy shit. He said, so many cases of these improper relationships were turning up. I thought we needed to do something about it. Well, yeah, it was in the law. There was a gray area. Right. You made a gray area. That's what it is. When you make a gray area, people go, holy shit, do you see there's a big giant hole to exploit? That didn't sound good. Oh, God, maybe I did make this up. No, I didn't make it up, but Jesus Christ,
there's a real loophole we can fill here.
It's a big loophole that we can just put that pole vault carrot into. So the law was expanded to include students under 17, but the legislators did not require those convicted under the improper relationship law to register as sex offenders, because technically what they did was legal in age, but not in position. So you just can't teach, and it's illegal, but it doesn't make you like you're a sex offender. Is what's
gross. Your morality is out the window. That you're a fucking monster.
I would say, if you that's disgusting. And they said, well, why didn't you put the sex offender registry in there? And they said, quote, this is one of the representatives said, quote, it's not something that really came up. I think it has a lot to do with the circumstances. I'd have to give it some more thought. They said it didn't really came up. They were just trying to get this law on the books to stop teachers from fucking 17-year-olds. Right. They didn't even think about registry of it. It wasn't even a thing. They said, though, the judge here withheld the guilty finding until Ledbetter serves his probation. That way they can reinstate it at any point, basically. They can, and it would start from there. So it might not, basically it says that New Mexico, it might not have a felony conviction on his record. If he successfully completes the probation, it might get knocked down from not a felony at that point. The girl who, the main girl this happened with, who's now 18 when it was going on, she did not attend the sentencing and said she moved on with her life at that point. The prosecutor said it was totally inappropriate behavior on his part. He was a coach. The kids trusted him. Hopefully he's getting his life straightened out and everyone will move on. Chester, this is not a good line for a man named Chester to say, by the way. Jesus, Chester, think about what you're saying. Quote, I understand things might happen between a young man and a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl. No. No. Shut up, Chester. What the fuck are we doing?
A young man is 16, 17, 18. That's a young man. A young man is not 30-something. That's crazy, Chester.
30 is not a young man. If the coach was 19, you'd go, okay, I could see that. He graduated last year. Right. He was a senior when that girl was a sophomore or was a junior, and now she's a senior, and he graduated. He's going to try to bang her, I
could see where the lines get blurred with a guy like that.
Yeah, not 30. No. So then he goes on to say, but teachers hold a sacred trust. He needs to understand his position of moral authority and exercise it correctly. Like many people, I just assumed he'd have to register as a sex offender, but he doesn't, like we said. So he's got all this hanging over him, obviously. He's on 10 years probation. He's driving a truck, and he's the, the kid fucker. So he's not really, his reputation isn't wonderful at this point.
Oh, he's not very popular.
No, but somehow in 2007, and this is hope for anybody who says I'll never have a relationship, this guy meets a woman.
Oh, boy.
You don't have any pedophilia in your past, do you? Well, if not, you can probably meet somebody, so just try harder. They started dating in 2007. They met in Stephenville, Texas, and she knows everything about him. She can read probably. So this was pretty big news in a small town. Hey, remember that hero? Yeah, he fucks kids now. That's she knew about everything. She knew he pled guilty to having an improper relationship, and she knew everything. But nonetheless, they move in together in Texas. Everything seems well. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful. It's all good, right? Then they get in a fight.
Oh, boy.
Because Cody's been cheating. Cody just needs to feel like he's special is what it is. I feel like, you know what I mean? So he needs multiple women. One woman can't make you feel special. You need a bunch of them. What the fuck?
He found 2 women to fuck a pedophile? That's crazy.
Yep, on the side. He'd been cheating on her, so she threw him out, okay? Now, as a part of his probation, he's not allowed to drink alcohol. He's not allowed to do a lot of things. He's got to check in a lot of meetings and things like that. Instead, he went out, got shit-faced, and made a complete fucking spectacle of himself, and ends up being arrested and taken in front of a judge for this shit. And the judge was ready to, tell him, okay, well, fuck your goddamn 10-year probation. There was a good chance that he was going to instate the prison sentence for
Make
this
him sit for the rest of the time.
Yeah, because not only this, he had been breaking other things, too. He did not put the alcohol interlock device on his vehicle. He was supposed to, and he didn't. This is not his first alcohol violation.
Okay.
And he had just stopped showing up for probation meetings as well.
Well, yeah,
so,
because they're so lenient on me. Why'd even do what they told me to do?
No shit. So he was going to do that. At this point in time, the woman he was living with said that, because, he's released on bail and he's held over for sentencing or whatever. She said, quote, he was facing up to 20 years in jail.
Yeah.
As he is at this point. That's what the max on those charges are. So he ran. He took the fuck off, dude.
Really?
He took off. Yeah. She said she didn't want to go with him, but he was very persuasive, she said. He was just very persuasive. Cody's got a golden tongue on him, I think, here.
So the woman he was cheating with ran with him?
No. Oh. The woman who he was living with.
Got it.
Who he met, who kicked him out for cheating.
Oh,
now she found out that he's doing all this, and now he's like, listen, I know I cheated on you and I'm a pedophile and everything, but you want to run with me? You want to live on the lam with me? Like I'm Whitey Bulger? And she said, okay, and went with him.
On a truck driver's salary, they'll never catch us.
They'll never catch us. They're driving her 2003 pickup truck with Oklahoma license plates. That's their takeoff vehicle.
Yeah.
Where do you go if you're Cody? Canada, baby.
Oh, my God. Really?
Canada, like you're dodging the draft.
He's going to cross the entire fucking country as a wanted pedophile.
Does.
Okay.
Goes all the way up there. Wanted for diddling, and he's going up there. Once they get to Canada, she said about Canada, quote, I never wanted to come here in the first place, but this is where Cody said he wanted to go. This is where people still worship me. They got all the way to Canada, and they settled down up there. This is crazy. She said, quote, I knew he was going to be on the run. That's why I was leery of coming up here. But he kind of played mind games with me and told me I'd be a bad parent if I didn't bring my daughter up here to be with her daddy, to be a family, because they have a fucking child together.
Wow.
They had a goddamn child. They have a 1-year-old daughter at this point.
Oh, boy.
Into this mix, okay? She said, quote, he was a great dad to her. He was always there for her. So he just ends up not being there for me. Yeah. So, not about how he treats the kid. It's about our relationship is what she's saying. She said that he got to Ottawa and he was hanging out with his football buddies from his playing days there.
What in the shit?
September 2009, they're playing, doing all that. Once he gets up there hanging out, that's when this is the fucked up part. They didn't go up together. He went up first to get settled in. He's doing construction work that he got from some of his old football buddies. Once he gets settled, she goes up there. Ooh. She follows him up there with the infant daughter. So she brings an under 1-year-old to go on the lam, even though she had a few months to think about this shit and not go. So he was working freelance construction jobs in Ottawa. This is what ended up happening. He was cited different places, and people kind of know he's wanted and know he's not wanted and all this type of shit. He's sitting up there in Canada like it's no big deal, waiting for his girlfriend and his baby. They said he was spotted in several restaurants near the apartment house. He hangs out in the park right by there and just not a fucking care in the world, Jimmy. Like it never happened.
Doing journeyman handyman work.
Yeah, he's like, I do finishing. I'm a finishing carpenter. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So he does all of this. One day, he's just sitting there. He's relaxing, obviously, because it's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
And he's on a park bench, and the birds are chirping, and the breeze is blowing, and he hears a noise that's not normally around there. It's a bunch of dogs barking. He doesn't know what to do. He turns around, and it's Bobby Colorado, animal trainer from Fredericksburg, Texas. And he says... How is it you come to arrive here? Yeah, no, come on, come back there. Let's go. No, I'm keeping the dogs away from you. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't usually say this. I don't try not to judge. They send me out. I don't know how many times they send me out here, 40, 50 fucking times. I got to come out. I got to talk to you people. Somebody's all fucked up in the head. I got to try to set them straight. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't fucking like you. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't like you. That's it. If you ever come, if I see you come near even one of my dogs, I'm going to cut your fucking throwing hand off and have it shipped back to the sheriff in Texas. Right. I swear to Christ. I go, these fingerprints match, huh? I know where he is. I got the rest of them up here if you want them. I'm tired of this shit. Let's go. You don't even need a fucking dog.
This dog's 4 years old. In dog years, it's too old for you.
It's too old for you in dog years. The problem is, I'd give you a dog, but you're not going to want it after it's 2. That's the only problem. It's going to be...
Oh,
so never mind. I got to get the fun. Nah, you don't even know. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. Not see. Shut up, Cody. Fuck you. Shut up, Cody. Fuck you. And poof, and a poof of dog shit and marinara sauce. He's gone. And Cody's very confused. He understands people don't like him, but he doesn't even know who this guy is. He's very, very confused. So he's gone for over a year now. He made his way onto the Texas's top 10 most wanted list.
Good.
By March of 2010, the sheriff's office in Johnson County, Texas, puts him at the #1 most wanted slot on the Texas's most wanted list. Is this fucking idiot? Sheriff Bob Alford said, quote, "He needs to be off the street. If he weren't hard to find, he wouldn't be on the most wanted list. We're going through all the normal procedures to find him." Yeah. So obviously he's fucking hot, and that's why we ain't got him.
It sounds to me like that should be an alert that our phones get. You know, like when one kid goes missing and if
Loose
one
pedophile.
kid is in danger, we have an alert for that. This guy is every kid's in fucking danger.
So what color alert would that be?
Fucking bright ass red.
Pedophile alert. Yeah, bright red alert. That's not good. Bright red alert. Pedophile on the move. That's some information that would be helpful. I don't need to know when an old person's missing. Half the time they're just going off on their own to do something. I want to know when a pedophile's on the run.
Call it fire engine red alert. You know what I mean?
Fire engine red. Yeah.
Little kids know what that means.
They get it. Exactly. So the one guy here from the Johnson County Sheriff's Department says, we got a Crime Stoppers tip that he was up there in Canada, pointing up, like up, straight up is Canada. He was in the Ottawa area. We're in the process of pursuing that tip now. So that's what they're thinking. That is where he is, too. They said that they're going to have to, if he is up there, they're going to have to work to try to extradite him and things like that. And they said federal officers are in touch with our warrants unit and getting everything lined up. We don't know how long he's been out of Texas or out of the country. He just disappeared. And he says, quote, "Until he's in custody, there's nothing we can do. The warrant's been out for quite a while, since January 4th, so 3 months. That's when we found out he'd broken the rules of his probation. I'm sorry, 1.5 years. We filed because he absconded. He stopped reporting for probation."
Yeah.
So he's living with this girl and his, infant young daughter up there. Summer of 2010, the relationship goes a little sour here. Boy. So by, let's say, May of 2010, they break up, and they're not together anymore.
Okay.
But they have an agreement that he's still going to watch the daughter while the mother's working.
Oof.
So they're going to do that. Like, he's going to be the babysitter of his daughter while the mother's at work, the baby. So that's their agreement. So they sort of have a amicable breakup, we'll say, if they have that sort of arrangement or anything like that. Now, problem is also, did I mention she's pregnant again. With his kid? God. So there's that too. She's also again pregnant. Then toward late July, things aren't going so well. Basically, Cody shows up at her house in a rage and demands her truck. Okay, give me your truck. I need it. I want your truck. He doesn't live there. They're not together anymore. They've been split up for months. She's not giving him. Right. Yeah, it's not like they're together and he's like, I got to take the truck to the store real quick. This is a totally different thing. So he arrived there. She said this was the last remnant of her late father's estate, and it was in her name completely. This is like her only thing that she has.
A bequeathed truck from her father.
Yeah, from her dead father, and it's the last thing she has that's all hers, know? So anyway, they end up getting in a big argument. He's threatening her. She ends up now, like we said, there's a 1-year-old girl in the mix here, and also she's pregnant as well. So he's yelling and threatening her. She grabs a knife as well to keep him away because he's also a big guy. He's 6'2". He's 220 pounds. He's a big guy. So anyway, there's a fight that occurs, and he ends up fleeing the premises. And when the police arrive, because neighbors called the police, not her. She didn't even call the police. Neighbors arrived. They found her pregnant with a swollen black and blue eye and some blood on her and everything else. Ooh. So he socked her good. Yeah. He gave her a shot. In front of the 1-year-old. Very nice. Yeah. I know it's a 1-year-old, but still, Jesus Christ. He wasn't there, though. So they talked to other people in the complex who heard about it, and they said the reason why they called is because, quote, they saw, quote, a bleeding woman was found staggering through the apartment building hallway early Saturday morning. That's why they called.
Cause for concern.
That gets people to go, you know what, I'm going to see if she needs help. So a bleeding woman staggering around.
I don't want to live in an apartment complex like this. Let's call and get this fixed.
No shit. So a Toronto newspaper also reported that other residents recognized his photo from a photo circulated by police and then published in the paper. And they said, this is another resident, said Ledbetter was a big talker, so he wasn't trying to hide, who, quote, used his real name, talked freely about his career in the CFL.
What an ego.
And even parked his pickup truck, a 2003 Dodge four-door pickup with Oklahoma license plates, in the outdoor lot right behind the building. So he was just not hiding at all. Hey, I'm Cody. Yeah, I played for the Tiger Cats. We go Tiger Cats. So she said, this is his girlfriend, quote, I have a black eye, scratches on my shoulder. He's got a cut on his right hand from trying to grab the knife out of my hand. So this got physical as fuck. Jesus. She said, quote, I didn't call the cops because he kept telling me if I ever went to the cops, I'd get arrested for aiding and abetting a fugitive. I didn't want my daughter being raised in a foster home. That's a legitimate concern.
Sure.
That's why you don't run to other countries with fugitives. Right. What the fuck are we doing? Shut up, Cody. So the police are looking for this, for her truck, which is a 2003. I think it's the same truck that they share. With Dodge pickup with Oklahoma license plates. They're looking for that. By the way, he's also facing charges from something else that somebody reported him for, of being unlawfully in a dwelling and threatening a man as well. So he's on a roll right now. He's on the lam. No one knows where he is. She says to the paper, this woman, quote, I have absolutely no idea where he's gone. I wish I did know where he was, because then I wouldn't be having to look over my shoulder every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She's afraid of him. They're asking all around. They called his aunt. They called his home, and his aunt Melody answered. And she said she was surprised to learn that his girlfriend and daughter had followed him to Canada. She said, quote, he's just made some bad choices, I guess you'd have to say. Understatement of the century.
Shit.
He's just made some bad choices, I guess you'd have to say. I love Cody. He's my nephew, but I don't really know what's going on. I don't really understand what's going on. I hope
wait
she's
till
like
you
87.
Find out. How about...
Yeah, I hope she's like 87 years old and isn't with it all the way, And she's just like, he seems like a nice boy.
How about refrain from comment till you find out? Jesus.
No shit. Family said they know all about his legal troubles, but they didn't really discuss it at all. It was just kind of kept under there. And she also says, quote, of course he denies it all. And, his former girlfriend says that, quote, if I know him, when things get bad, he'll just run. So I'm sure he's already long gone.
That's a scrambling quarterback.
Exactly. That pocket breaks down. He's taking off.
He's going to run.
His psychology is real basic. I lacked high school. I'm going to fuck me a high school girl. When things get tough, you just run. That pocket breaks down, you just run. He's just
the difference is there's not only 11 police officers. You got to outrun a whole lot more than that, bud.
Oh yeah, there's more than 11 police officers. That might be my fucking favorite thing we've ever said. There's more than 11 police officers.
And you went and involved the Royal Mounted.
He's got everybody.
They got a lot more up there.
Involved. He's got other fucking countries involved. I mean, this whole thing's a disaster. This is not even a thought. So he'll just run. The sheriff there in Johnson County, Bob Alford, said, quote, he needs to be off the street. If he weren't hard to find, it wouldn't be on the most wanted list. Mm-hmm. So he said, we're still looking for him. Exactly what I said before. He also said, quote, he's been on the run for a while. Then he said he'll read the paper and take off again, but we'll keep chasing him. We tracked him pretty well across the United States during his flight to avoid prosecution. This isn't a Coyote Roadrunner situation. Like, we wake up, he runs, and we chase him, and then I go to bed at night thinking I'm gonna get that feller tomorrow, and he's like, I'm gonna run again.
Right?
No, catch him. What the fuck are you doing? He said there's,
and he's not Leonardo DiCaprio pretending to be a Pan Am pilot. He's in a fucking Dodge.
Yeah,
driving.
It's not hard to find. So, there's warrants, 2 counts of revocation of community supervision, 1 for each of his original counts. So he is fucked. Mid-August 2010, he finally surrenders to the Ottawa Police Service in Ontario. Mm-hmm. He's run out of space to go. There's really nowhere else he can go. He is accused of domestic assault up there while he's living there. But Canadians said they're perfectly willing to stay the charges to clear his way for extradition to Texas. They're like, that's no problem. So he said that, his lawyer said his immigration status is still the same. And I guess he entered Canada legally. He didn't sneak in. He entered on a visitor's pass. And I guess they didn't do a background check that he was literally wanted in the U.S. Right. So I don't know if he
You can't get into Canada if you have a weed possession. This guy can fuck kids and get in?
I don't understand it. Yeah, they should at least register him to be not in Canada or anywhere else. So he's sitting in jail for the assault and causing bodily harm in the domestic incident there. And they said that his lawyer said to the judge, quote, "It will be no shock to Your Honor that he is a little disappointed that this is happening now after he's been in jail for 7 weeks." Because they kept him in jail for 7 weeks, and then they had a hearing to decide whether they were going to pursue the charges or extradite him back to Texas.
I love it.
So he's like, what the fuck? He suggested outside the court that his client would be entitled to a detention review hearing in 48 hours and would not be removed from Canada anytime soon. However, the prosecution said that actually his removal from Canada would be very quick. He said there's a very good chance he won't see the 48-hour detention review. So he'll be gone within 2 days.
Okay.
Now, the sheriff's very excited about this down in Texas.
Oh, I'm sure.
He said it's important to get all the absconders brought back. All them absconders, we bring them back. We want to express our appreciation to the Canadian officials. We're working closely with us on getting him captured. He was given a second chance, and he violated the terms and conditions of that, so we don't stop until we get him back, whatever it takes. Definitely, he's looking at a whole lot worse environment to be placed into, a lot harder circumstances on him than if he just followed through like he was given the opportunity. So he brought it on himself, is what he just said. They said that he had not been promptly removed to the U.S. because if he's not basically extradited right away, then they'll do the criminal shit up there with him. But otherwise, whatever. So they said, finally, we have an obligation under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act to remove people as quickly as possible. January 2011, he is extradited back to Texas.
Great.
He initially tried and failed to fight the extradition on the grounds that the Texas justice system is inhumane, which is true, but still, he needs some inhumanity at this point. Fuck this guy.
They've been far too humane towards you, sir.
Everyone has. Yeah. So he's back in Texas, and Jesus Christ, he's there. I feel bad for his family, man. Jesus fuck, he's back there. This is not good. How'd you like to be related to this guy? He's like, oh, Jesus,
Yuck.
He's back again. Cody again. Fuck, he used to be in the newspaper for such good things, and now there's bad things. I mean, honestly, you feel bad for the poor young girl that now has to know that he's there. This guy's pregnant girlfriend who's now stuck in fucking Ottawa. That's not where she's from or anything like that. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Cody Ledbetter.
Oh boy.
And an MMA fighter whose career was 0-3. He lost in the first round of 3 straight MMA fights and then gave up. Cody Ledbetter, Future Assessment Integration and Research, NCO at U.S. Army Recruiting and Retention College in Fort Knox, Kentucky. He looks much smarter than our Cody. Cody Ledbetter, some dude on GoFundMe who's trying to just raise money for himself. for, quote, dreams, hopes, and wishes.
Oh, that's exactly what I expect from a Cody Ledbetter. Fuck you lazy bastard. Get a goddamn job. Who do you think you are?
Fuck is wrong with you? Not even to pay bills, just for dreams, hopes, and wishes.
Just for fun. Just give me money because I like doing fun things. Fuck you, Cody. Shut up, Cody.
Shut up, Cody. It's over now, but he raised $160 for this bullshit.
Fuck.
Cody Ledbetter, a biker and stepson of a dead biker who was shot to death in the 2017 Twin Peaks biker shootout.
Oh, my God.
Cody was among 177 bikers arrested and charged with engaging in organized criminal activity. And he ends up being held for a while. He ends up suing the state at one point during his detention because all of the evidence was like fucking like porn and pictures from his phone between him and his wife. So he was saying they were calling it revenge porn. The state put it out as a revenge porn against him. It really went back and forth a lot.
Invasion of privacy.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then eventually, finally, his charges are all dismissed and he goes home. Okay. Cody Ledbetter, 2015 graduate of some fucking high school here in Cartersville, Georgia. He's a left-handed pitcher. He was the 31st ranked left-handed pitcher in the state of Georgia at one point, and it looks like he played 2 years for Young Harris College, whatever the fuck that is, and he had a career ERA of 29.45 at the college.
Oh, turns out he was not as good as he thought.
That wasn't good at all. Finally,
I'd rather be an
here,
0-3 MMA fighter.
No shit. It's at least, it's probably less painful. And finally here, and I swear to God, I'm not looking for these. This is just what popped up just randomly and luckily in the last 3 weeks twice now. The wedding of Gabriella Kuhn and Cody Ledbetter in Bremen, Georgia, taking place September 4th, 2021. So it hasn't even happened yet.
Oh.
They are registered at registry.thenot.com, and they're registered all over. Looks like I have some of their, we'll go over a few of their items, of course, that they're looking for, obviously. Again, is Amazon gift card. Oh. That's a $20 one. Yeah. They're looking for that. There's a honeymoon fun to Hawaii. Gift any amount.
Okay.
Fuck you. That's on you, Cody.
Shut up, Cody.
Shut up, Cody. We're not accepting that. $50 Lowe's gift card. That's understandable. Deco Bros kitchen counter and cabinet pan organizer, which is kind of cool. That way your pans aren't all stacked up. Yeah. It's kind of its own little rack here. Handmade macrame coasters. Fuck you. $16 for fucking macrame coasters?
Listen, James, he wants to go to Hawaii. He's got expensive taste.
Cody, this is not a good use of people's money here. Panta Knot macrame napkin rings. Oh, they're into macrame here. Set of 5, $15.95. Snug Life macrame wall hanging shelf. What is up with all the macrame? What is it, 1973? What's happening? You need beads to put in your doorway too? What the fuck is going on here?
Listen, maybe they got a lot of mid-century modern shit in their house. They're trying to match it.
Maybe 3-tier wall shelves. It is $55 for macrame shelves.
Macrame shelves too?
Fuck out of here for that. That's what it's in there. And then a unstuffed handmade Moroccan round foot. It's a fucking ottoman. It's like a
hand-stuffed one?
A smushy ottoman, $32.99 for that. His and hers and a dog paw decorative key holder and leash hook. They're $17.99. So they have dogs, obviously, or at least a dog. They'd like a Visa gift card. They have all sorts of different denomination Visa gift cards. So I guess you can pick whichever one you want there.
Travel agent takes Visa.
They also want Longhorn Steakhouse gift cards for some reason. It's a very odd thing.
You got a Visa gift card. Use it to your discretion. What are you doing?
Yeah, use it to go to Longhorn, asshole. Silicone reusable kitchen baking cups. There's like cupcake holders that are paper, but they're silicone and reusable.
Oh, you know what those are for? Those are for poaching eggs in boiling water. They're rad. They're really great.
Non-stick baking pans, like cupcake trays, shit like that. Reusable snack bags. Okay. These are Ziploc bags you can reuse for $17.
So are Ziploc bags.
So, yeah, no shit. Hammock straps for $30 for those.
Does he already have the hammock?
I believe there's a hammock on here.
Okay.
Eagles Nest Outfitters double nest print lightweight hammock, $79.95 for this fucking thing.
Jesus.
touch control table lamp set of 2. So little table lamps. They're like the ones in the hotel that have the USB in them and everything.
Rub your hand on them.
Yeah, $49.99 for that, though. They need a laundry hamper that has color, light, and dark laundry in it. Here, those are the 3 baskets. $28.99 for that.
You don't have fucking eyes that you can see what you put in there. What are you doing?
Sorry.
You need
Pick
it
one.
labeled.
They want Mr. and Mrs. wedding theme cornhole beanbag set.
Oh boy,
the look on your face just now watching your jaw drop. $19.99 for that. They want a mop and broom holder for $14. There's a lot of shit on here. Jeff Gaylord was way more reasonable.
And
these people want a lot.
We have heard from Jeff Gaylord, not necessarily from him, but through somebody else. Jeff's thrilled that we took care of him and wants to leave it at that.
We won't say. We are going to buy a few of these things. I think I'm going to get them this Fashion Craft vintage double heart design. It's like a cake knife for $15. It's something that you'll have for years, and it's nice and decorative here. They also want a Shark Steam Pocket Mop hard floor cleaner for $70.
Those are great.
They are good. They are good. They're good stuff here. They want a Hubs and Wife apron set. No, I won't buy. No one buy them that.
Why does she get to be wife and he has to be Hubs? What the fuck is that?
Established 2021 like they're a business. No one buy them that. It's only $20, but don't buy them that. Smart Design stacking bin pantry freezer storage organizer. Jesus, that's a lot of words. $37. A food processor for $50. A fucking tent with a 60-second instant setup. A Coleman cabin tent. $156 for that fucking thing.
You can find all the things that he wanted, James. The hammock, the tent, the fucking gift cards.
The Ninja Professional Countertop Blender. It's like a bartender's one. It's $110, which I've never bought a blender that was $110 before. That's a lot. So they're going for quality items here. Stainless steel mixing bowls. You got to have those. You need that for shit. $25 for those. Oh, fucking, it's that hand woven. It looks like macrame again.
What is it?
A footstool. Here, let me turn the...
they love... I know exactly. They love that fucking, like... where's Morocco? Is that in the... It's a beach community, right? What is it?
It's on the ocean, North Africa.
They love the beachy shit.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Oh, Christ, a Hoover Pro Clean Pet Upright Carpet Cleaner Shampooer, $170 for that. There's some cheaper ones, though. The ice cube trays that make the round ice cubes. Those are very nice. Those are very nice. $17. Someone can buy them that. A digital folding probe kitchen thermometer for your, kitchen items. $12.99. Turkey baster with cleaning brush. That's important. You need that. A bathroom plastic spinning turntable beauty organizer. Holy shit.
What?
So... They must have 700 people coming to this fucking wedding if they have all this shit on the registry. How many people are coming to this wedding? Pillows, a $30 pillow. I'm buzzing. There's so much AA batteries they have on here. Buy your own fucking batteries, Cody. You don't put batteries at your wedding.
Are they homeless? Do they have anything at all?
Hey, 2-bedroom apartment with 2 bath and new countertops. Is that what's on here too?
They don't have anything, evidently.
Cubby, but I don't think they do at all. Instant pots on here, of course. A set of hangers for $30. All this stuff is on here. Then there's a bunch of out-of-stock stuff they want too. Oscillating tower fans and refillable lamp bases and shit like that. Oh, God. And the Joanna Gaines book, Magnolia Table. No one buy them that either. No. Buy whatever the hell else they want here.
I got news for you. Cody, what was her name? Coons? First name?
Yeah, I don't remember what her first name was.
Either way.
Go look. I have to go back.
They don't have enough to get married right
Gabriella.
now.
Gabriella and Cody.
You got to work a little harder before you get married. This is bullshit.
This is a lot here, Gabrielle. A kitchen conversions thing, that's actually good. A pepper mill, that's something you could buy. Anything. Well, we're going to help these people out here, especially since we made fun of them. We're going to get them something here.
They don't need to get married yet. They don't have they don't have a pot to piss in.
They could be 60 years old, these two people. We have no idea. So we feel bad for that, Cody. Back to the Cody we don't feel bad for. So he was approximately halfway into probation. He ends up now admitting that he violated terms of the deal by drinking alcohol, missing probation officers, and going on the lam to another country as well. He said that he feared he would be rearrested, so he told the court that's why he fled to Canada. He said he made, he didn't mean for it to all happen. Didn't want to be the number one most wanted fugitive in Texas. And the judge says, well, you, sir, may fuck off. 12 years in prison.
Great.
Not suspended, not probation, in the fucking joint.
Yep.
But he must serve 3 years before he's eligible for parole.
That's great.
So at least 3 years, something. Yeah. It's fucking prison for this asshole. The district attorney requested a 20-year sentence.
Good.
And the defense attorney requested 2 years, which is the minimum. So one requested the minimum, one requested the maximum. And the judge said, we think he's in the middle. He's an asshole plus 2. There you go. So he's sentenced there for having an improper relationship. He's got to serve 3 years. The prosecutor said he is satisfied with the length of the sentence. He said, we asked for more and would have liked more, but the judge made a fair decision. He knew the history of the case and how the individual came into being in Canadian custody. In other words, beating the shit out of his girlfriend.
Right.
Ledbetter does have the option to appeal, but has not at this time. So they must wait until an appeal is concluded before prosecuting Ledbetter in Johnson County, the other charges, because they're reinstating those too. They could ask for a sentence of 2 to 20 years to run concurrently or consecutively with this one.
Okay.
So he could end up getting 20 years, 10 and 10, and then end up doing 5-6 years. They did say the charges against him included immigration in Canada there. His lawyer said that Cody always had the intention of turning himself in without any incident or confrontation with the police, obviously. So this is then he goes to jail in 2011, like we said. He gets out sometime before September 2015.
Okay.
So he does less than 4 years. That we do know. For this. We know he's out for a fact because on September 5th, 2015, he is found dead after he hanged himself in a shed.
Wow.
That's the ending that you kind of need from that.
Holy shit.
Yep. So his psychology is, I can't have any of that stuff I want, and I can't feel like I like, so fuck it. Where's the shed and a rope? I'm going in there.
Holy shit.
Yep. 42 years old. Hanged himself in a shed.
Oh my God, what a story.
That's fucking crazy. Pronounced dead at 8:26 a.m. That's that. Dead as a fucking doornail. Can't get enough?
I think we've had enough.
You can buy. Who the fuck is selling? Someone's selling Cody Ledbetter football cards. Are you buying a pedophile's football card? I'm not.
No.
They're $4, $3. Nobody wants them. Fuck this guy. Fuck Cody Ledbetter. Shut up, Cody. That is Cody Ledbetter.
Cody Ledbetter told himself to shut up.
He said, shut up, Cody. And then he
jumped off the stool.
Jumped off the stool. Yeah, he kicked the stool out from under himself.
Wow.
So, I mean, normally we obviously we don't like suicide and all that. We don't want anybody to kill themselves. But I really don't like it when people fuck teenage girls either that they're supposed to be in charge of.
Yeah.
So I don't feel, and then punch pregnant women until they get bloody and stagger around a fucking, something about that makes me not give a shit. I don't know what it is.
Do you think the desperation of finding that nobody wants him anymore and he finally felt shame? Or do you think it was just like, he finally understood, oh my God, I'm a horrible person?
No, I think he was a loser and a nobody. Yeah. And once he got out of prison, it was even worse. Mm-hmm. And he had a stigma on him.
Yeah.
And I think he was a pedophile and a woman beater, and he's this and he's that. And I think he couldn't live without adulation from something and somewhere. And he just couldn't do it. And he was like, well, this isn't exactly perfect like I wanted it to be. So that's it. He just didn't have the toughness he didn't have the toughness he did in high school when his finger was hurt. He said, I ain't going to sit out for a finger. Like, he couldn't rebuild his life and say, I'm not going to fuck kids and I'm going to be a better person and I'm going to, rebuild my shit. Like, he couldn't do it. So Anyway, there he is. So if you like that story,
Yikes.
That was a crazy story, I got to say. If you enjoyed that story, tell the world. Get on Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. Give us 5 stars. It helps an immense amount. So thank you for everyone that does that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder, which you should be listening to. If you're not, you're fucking up, man. Listen to Small Town Murder. It's wild stuff. The most craziest form of murder I've ever heard last week. Check that one out. Down in South Carolina.
Absolutely
that
awful.
Shit.
It was great.
Modoc, South Carolina. Awful stuff. So listen to that. Or the week before was just as crazy. So check all that out. Get your merch. Get your tickets to live shows. You know what's on there. Yeah. Patreon.com/crime-and-sports. The good stuff is on there. We are on a roll. This week, the Crime and Sports episode for the bonus will be the all-paternity team in honor of Father's Day. This is the athletes throughout history that have so many kids. They don't pay for them. I haven't seen them in 20 years. I mean, from even just ones that completely abandon their kids. We could go from Babe Ruth till now. You know what I mean? Till it doesn't matter. We're going to do it all and talk about the worst
Babe
fathers
was the
in the
Babe
history
Ruth
of
of
sports.
abandoning children?
I think he had a couple out there, I would imagine, floating around. I know he's got a daughter that knew him and stuff, but I can't imagine he didn't slip a couple past the goalie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So either way, we're going to do that. It's going to be hilarious to hear about. How do you have 14 kids with 11 women? This is fucking ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
So we'll talk about that. And then for the small town murder one, we're going to do something a little bit different and crazy. Don't worry, we're going to go back to weird, dark stuff. In the next bonus, it'll be about the Hillside Stranglers and some stuff there. But for this one, we're going to have some fun, and we are going to read reviews, bad reviews, 1-star reviews from terrible small town motels and businesses in general. Just like small town businesses that have gone awry.
Yeah.
And I'll try to find ones that are closed so we don't harp and
ruin
on
the business. Yeah.
Further pile on to their shit and things like that. Or I'll change the name of it a little bit. Or maybe not. If it's that bad, if 50 people say it's fucking awful, stay away from here. Maybe the world needs to know about it. Either or, we'll do that, and it's going to be hilarious because nothing is more fun than us reading bad reviews because we love people's reviews. And you can get all of that at patreon.com/crime-and-sports. Anybody above the $5 level gets access to everything, both shows, bonuses, and everything else up there that you could possibly want. So do that. We added a bunch more recently, too, just like a bunch of old episodes just to kind of help fill in. Just here's a little extra drop for you guys, for everybody out there. So hope you enjoy that. Everybody do that. And also, Jimmie's going to mispronounce your name at the end of the show because you're a goddamn producer if you do that.
Yeah.
And if you just want to be a producer and have good karma and have our undying affection and also get your name mispronounced, you can do that at PayPal as well using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. That said, also, check out the coming very soon here, the Upside Down Digital Network is our new network where we're going to try to bring you shows that we think are good, basically. Yeah. That's it. We see podcasts and we think a lot of them are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to bring quality shit that we would actually listen to even and that we think is really good. And we have found 2 shows to start out with, and there'll be more after that. But we want to start out with a couple and get
gotta
our feet
wade in
wet
the
here.
waters. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're diving right in, but we're diving in. We're not putting a bunch of shit on our back first. We know we can swim with this on. So we have Game of Crimes is the first one, and that's coming out very soon. The trailer is up right now, and it's amazing. Steve Murphy and Morgan Wright, and Steve Murphy is the guy he's the blonde guy from Narcos, not the actor, but the guy that the actor is playing. So,
the real guy.
The real guy. So they, it's wild. And then Morgan was a cop forever too. And, Kansas Law Dog and everything else. So I'm telling you, these guys are hilarious. They break each other's balls a lot too. They're not like, well, I'm a perfect cop and you're this and that. They're very self-deprecating. Yeah. They're hilarious, and they have a lot of people on that you wouldn't expect to. Right. They have detectives that work behind the scenes on a serial killer case for something, and then they'll also have a Colombian hitman from a prison somewhere talking to him as well because they know the guy, and now they're not pals, but they're kind of pals. They know shit
they know
like that.
Some things about each other. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get just points of view that you're not gonna get anywhere. These guys work so they're really good at the research. They're meticulous about putting it together.
Yeah.
Like it was a case against Pablo Escobar, for Christ's sake. That's how meticulous they are.
They goddamn care.
Game of Crimes. Check it out right now. The trailer's up. Rate and review it and help them. What's the word I'm looking for?
Beat the fucking
premiere.
Yeah.
Help them premiere high on the charts, please.
I was just guessing more. Beat the algorithm. Help them fight that funky ass algorithm. He swings back.
That's what I'm saying. So do all of that. And also follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. That said, Jimmie, it's after that story, I feel dirty. I need to hear good things. Tell me good things. Yeah. Tell me shit. I don't want to say shut up, Jimmie, like shut up, Cody, because you're going to tell me the best. You're going to tell me the list of my favorite fucking people on the face of the earth. Jimmie, hit me with them now.
This week's executive producers are Kevin Spilker, Rebecca and Travis Isley. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
Chelsea Hansen of Bean Love Sanctuary. It's a cat rescue. I don't know where it's at, but Bean
beans?
Love. Yeah. Little beans, little baby beans. It's kittens.
Okay.
Little baby
I thought it was a coffee place.
Also, Jordan Bennett. She's terrific. And
Jordan.
Simon, I love you guys.
Both of them.
Penis Rodriguez Jr. the third, James. There's three of those.
All right. Well, 3 penises. Excellent. Tripod.
Also, John McCarthy turned 30, not Big John, just regular John.
Hey,
happy birthday, John. Thomas DeMello is stationed in Germany right now. Be safe out there, buddy.
Hey, definitely.
I think he's stationed. He may not be in the military. He just said
he
was
just in Germany. Either way, Germany's not. There's not a lot of war going on in Germany at the moment, so he should be okay.
I made a wild ass assumption though.
He's just
Carl
in the military
Kirshner, Alexandria Krutkiewicz. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Jude Kendall.
Be real honest with you.
Jude Kendall sent the ladle to the Gaylords.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Earle's husband, I think, Aaron Earle, I would assume. I don't know if she took his last name, but it's his birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Georgia Bukal. Susanna Platt, Janice Hill, Jessica Finch. Dustin's wife, Danny, got out of the hospital. I think it was his wife. May have been his mom. Somebody close to Dustin named Danny.
He might be in the military, he might not. We don't know anything.
Danny got out of the hospital. Yay!
Hey.
Dixon Mouthhugs and Sharon Maholes. Hope you're proud of yourself for that.
Both of them.
Right. Jennifer Stevens, Sarah Caudell, Maud Finlay, Christine Strawberry Destine, Christine McGregor, also Sexual Chocolate, because that's got to be
Sexual Chocolate, everybody. I love Eddie Murphy.
Sarah Surridge and Frank Sidebottom. Rabbi Shmulevich had a finger amputated because it was squashed by the car. Douglas C. Niedermeyer, Sergeant of Arms in Omega House, of course. Augustus Galloop, also Pride of Dusseldorf. Steve Schnell, Lisa Bianca Lana.
Bianca Batuka.
Yeah. Sarah Lee, obviously the best pound cake. John Leon Magnato. Rob Roberts, Bob's, obviously. Maria Rasper, James Martyr, Liz Vasquez, Leah, and TJ are getting married this weekend, James. Congratulations.
Congrats to you.
Enjoy your day. Lisa Tucker, Frank the South African bird washer. Washer or watcher? I don't know if he washes
Either
them.
way.
Are you washing them? Give him
he
a
just grabs
bath.
them and holds them. I wash that one off good now. He just puts it on.
Is that South African?
I don't know. It's a weird one. It's like in between. It's like a pinched Australian. It's a weird accent.
Amanda Van Hinsberg. Jesus. Ashley Vio. Garrett with no last name. He actually wrote with no last name. AJ. Ricky with no last name. Jake Bird. King Rusty. Anne-Marie Metzler. Mike with no last name. Oski Dumholt. Diana Trippy. Corinne with no last name. Trudy Jones. Nathaniel McCarthy, Aaron Kathleen, Pedro Marquez, Iceman, Brian Vickers, Sue Johnson, Zachary Hall, Catherine Gross, Ian Gibson, Jordan Fahey, Joshua Giacino, Ben Vanden Dreisen, Salvador Cordero, Cynthia O'Connell, Raphael with no last name, Stephanie Kay, Rachel Mosley, Emmanuel Matanzo, yes, Delgado, Emma Kernuck. I'm second guessing myself, even when I'm
Jimmy,
right.
Go, you got this.
Mike oh boy, Kroksh. That's not right. Lori Blanchard, Jesse K. Keegan, Ashley Bird, Victor Kostov. That is Russian as fuck. Becky Galitko, Sarah Leslie. Boy, oh boy. Gaetano Mule, Brandon Bowles, Nikki with no last name.
That Gaetano.
TJ Rossiter, McKenna Lee Wright, Mateo Aristides, Parada, Misty Monlux, Ashlyn, nope, that's Alicia Gavernick, Naomi Ross, Andrew, no last name, Dano Steenkamp, Terry Plaster, Madison Morissette, Ernest Lowry, Sylvan Gamble, Laura Bjorg, Laura Bjorg Bjornsdotter.
That was a good one.
So many viewers. Zachary Leatherwood, Connor Hession, Caleb Crawdaddy, Jacob Johnson, Stacy Makeley, Goldie 1692, Ashley Hoitima, Herturna, what is that? God damn it. Dante with no last name. Jessica Roberson, KM loves KW, James. Erica Hoops, Ryan, I think, with no last name. Perky Priest Morales, Prudence with no last name. Brian Einloth, Courtney McCullough, Shanna, and Laura. No last names for either of them. Samuel Lucero, Joe Renfro. I'm doing my best.
They're confident. They don't need last names. I know who I am.
That would be amazing if they just did just first names. I think I would still stumble. Kristen.
They wouldn't. Is that me? I don't know.
Kristen Agard, Essence Beasley, Julia Ponce, I think. Ponce like De Leon. JT, Brandy Brooks, Brett Osborne, Aaron Anderson, Torrin Priddle, Emily Jackson, Max Clark, Kenneth Mayo, Anthony Kanokia, Canonica, Scott Bowes, Scuba Gear Service, Andy X, Courtney Clagett, Derek Pogue, Chelsea with no last name, and Jamie with no last name, Joseph Kramer, Poem a Day, Luke, no last name, Adorkable SARS, Shelley Urban, Amanda Huber, Rosanna Brown, Stephanie Boych, Angelia Berkowitz.
Hey,
good God, why is that a tough one?
Confusing one.
Eric Sterling, Christy Goodman, Mary Sider, she's back. Kyle Statz, Darth Jotner, Sarah Nelson, Stephanie Owen, Tom Panos, Kalea Holt, Kalia, Tiffany Bogus, Alexa Price, Julianne Wilson, Libiu Gendel, Healthcare Coalition Partners of Kansas, Ed Lewalk, Levi Robinson, Meeg75, Selena, Zanella, Aaron Combs, Catherine Kresser, Jessica Westfall, Angela Boderf, Anna Salerno, Christina Womack, Chris Evans, not the Captain America guy, I don't think. Melanie Fleeman, Jessica Stewart, Cassandra Meyer, Erica Carlson, Mike with no last name, Holland Soward, Janae McSwain, Angela Carlo, Jana Falconor, Julie Templeton, Casey Passmore, T.E., Sarah James, Jason Rowan, Nathan Bowie, Sean Rice, Bradley Craig, Carly with no last name, Dr. Spicy Brinza. That's it.
Okay.
Karen Stanley, Neil Jezik, Laura Thornton, Sean with no last name, Bob Ackley, Alicia with no last name, Alexandria Murillo, Rachel Barker, Matt Gigliotta? I don't know. Gigliotti? Allison Sellers, Shane and Miranda Kreedermacher, Carrie DeCiccio. Nope, DeCiccio. It's Italian as fuck.
DeCiccio or DeCicco or DeCiccio.
I think it's DeCicco. Cheyenne with no last name, Abby Karpowitz, Jennifer M, Martha Carpagian, Yoshiyasu Kato, Thomas Smither, Morgan no last name, Mark Head, Sarah T, Caleb Hargis, Randy with no last name, Esteban lost his password, so he started a new one. Thank you, Esteban.
Well, thank you.
Scary Crap. Boy, oh boy. Jeffrey Smith Sauce with no last name. Jack Steiner, Carrie Gordon, Matt Bankert, Yvonne Lanzo, Trista Ohlendorf, Sean Boyle, Elizabeth Hammond, Carla Bossler, Mia Charisma. It's Charisma. What the fuck is happening? Ryan Zeider.
Chorizo almost.
Harrison Hodge, Carolyn Ochieng, Ryan Ray Allen, probably not the Four Talents, Octopapa, Jim with no last name, Amy Mulligan, Cuddly Pie Bomb, Hannah Dance, Laura Thomas, Joseph, nope, that's Joseph, Sufflage, I'm sorry, Joseph. Matt Renfro, Philip Waddle, McKenna Lundy, Waspy McTavish, Antiope, Graham Cooper, James Anderson, Griffin M, Shania Ziegler, Patrick McCauley, that's Ted Perron, Taylor Powell, Josh Peters, Denise Fonger. The fucking amount of French in this shit this week is bananas. Did we go crazy in France? Dakota Ledbetter. What? There's a Ledbetter.
Oh, no. Shut up, Cody.
Martha O'Farrell. What is this? Bernie Carr, 18-wheeling redneck, Vincent Perham. Evan Miller, Zach Smith, Am Kapatapara, Laura Wilson, Jody Dyer, T. Rose, Jeremy Thomas, Roy Fish, Colton Cochran, a bag of Dragonite. That's what that is. I don't know what a Dragonite is. That's a rock, right? I think it is. It's a mineral.
Shit,
Angela Ward, Laurel with no last name, Courtney M, Shauna Penn, Sam with no last name, Sarah Johnson, Gemma Huffer, Megan Rosenberg, Matt Randy, that's Brittany Hughes, Tulsa Collins, Amanda Taylor, Christ on a crutch. What is this, Christ?
Brittany the Macho
Chris,
Man Savage.
Rosenhauser Hibbard, Aaron Rogers, Porn Stash, Brian Tomac, Gabrielle Frame, Owen Rector, damn near killed her. What? I think I wrote that in. Leslie Metters, Jesse Calley, Kyle Coburn, Josh Anderson, Carol Brewer, Joe Craven, Bridget Coons, Dakota Pritchard, Stephen McFadden, Jamar Harden, Bryce Gilbert, Sean Russell, Amy Rodriguez, Jen Lyson, Joey with no last name, Micah B, Kendra Peterson, Hannah McPherson, Melvin Payne, Sarah Gamble, Amarinda Schumer, Carrie Allen, Ellen McKay, Carly with no last name, Nikki McQuinn, Sylvian, Kylie Burge, Jess with no last name, Kara Hurt, Vincent Graham, Christine Scott, Amanda, that's Adam, Ianetti, God damn it, Mandy Viscuzzi, so many Italian, Jesse Hiller, Colleen Ishiyama, Colette, sorry, Mariette Wagger, Christine Handorf, Dylan Crandall, Kristen Mortar, Saren Goodwin, Sean Burton, Darnell Swallow, Rebecca Legger, Alex Norris, Jonathan Walls, Keisha Campbell, Ada Evans, Venus Logan, Glenn Cavaco, Cassidy Stetcher, Tegwin Feldbush, Corey Kramer, Alicia Devane, Jared with no last name, Catherine Barnes, Samantha with no last name, Jason McLean, Rachel with no last name, Mark Magyar Ying, NG. I don't know, man. I'm doing my best. Flossie May, Laura Blakesley, Spontaneous, Brendan Holdorfer, El Volge, Cameron Mitchell, Shelby Papp, Maddie with no last name, Melissa Weinstock, Wayne York, and a lady named Renee with no last name, and all of our patrons. You guys, thank you so much for making that so difficult on me.
Thank you, everybody. Honestly, unbelievable. We appreciate everything you do for us. Honestly, whether it's tell someone about the show, listen to the show, or, go in the full dive in and getting into Patreon, we just appreciate the shit out of it from everybody. Thank you. Thank you for all of your support through everything here. And hopefully you'll continue that support through to the new network and all that sort of thing. And we just really appreciate the shit out of it. Jimmie, what if they wanted to tell you how much they possibly appreciate you? How could they do that?
You can find me on the internet at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter and Instagram. You guys are truly the most amazing people. Where can they find you, James?
You can find you at Jimmie P is funny. You can just look or you could just Google the show and we'll both pop up and you can find us that way. It's pretty easy. You can find it. You know how to find podcasts. You can find a person. That's way easier. So do that. Find us, follow, keep listening. Holy shit. Don't diddle any teenagers, though. That's one thing we ask of you.
I swear to Christ.
Please don't do that. And before we go, I must just say, shut up, Cody. And after that, live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.